our legacy event in just a couple minutes here at Cool Stuff in Miami. I'm going to be sending everything over to Emil here. He's going to be commentating the first round. We'll be starting in a few minutes now. Thank you. Stream is up and running. Just enter in. Yep, this has a mic. Just enter in whatever his deck name is. Click on save.
Or is it?
Hello, everyone. So today we have James and Camden. James playing Maverick and Camden playing Lance. So this is a very interesting matchup in the sense that James has, as Maverick does, Maverick is a deck with a bunch of green and white creatures that stop spells quite often. That stops spells quite often with Thalia, and it makes it a little bit harder for Lance to play its Life from the Loam and Crop Rotation. But James also has some hate cards. So let's see. There's Gadok Teague. I don't think will come into play today against Camden. Camden playing lands, it should be quite easy for him to get off the combo, but it's just going to come down to whether or not James has the Swords to Plowshares in order to deal with the 2020 Merit Lage token. So let's see. The die roll, I don't think it's too important here. It's going to go a little bit longer than a normal match. James does win the die roll, so he will be able to get this Thalia out on turn 2. And Camden won't be able to play Life from the Loam on 2 if that does happen. So let's see how the matchup folds out.
Legacy players, welcome to your first round of 4. You have 50 minutes on the clock. You may begin.
And from our announcer, we know that there's going to be 4 rounds today before a cut to top 4. What is it?
You can see the screen from where he's sitting.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Because we can't see that one.
I understand. So something funny with the setup is that we have this giant TV here, this screen, and it has like a copy of the broadcast right next to it. And from where Camden's sitting, he's sitting directly behind me. He would have been able to see James's hand the whole entire match. So just to prevent that from happening and have a little foul play, we just minimized it really quickly. We're going to get started right away. Can you ask James if there's anything with the chat?
James, is there anything with the chat? No, right?
It'll show up on the right side of the screen.
Nope.
Is anybody chatting? It might be empty because nobody's chatting.
Got it. So it looks like James's hand is actually pretty impressive. It has a Noble Hierarch, a Knight of the Reliquary, a couple lands, I believe a Windswept Heath and a Verdant Catacombs, along with a Green Sun Zenith and a Deathrite Shaman. Deathrite Shaman is actually one of the key cards in the matchup. Camden uses his graveyard in order to gain advantages through cards like Life from the Loam and Punishing Fire. So if James is able to protect this Deathrite Shaman, he should be able to run away with the game. It'll stymie Camden's advances quite well. Now we see from Camden, he does have the mentioned Punishing Fire, a Tabernacle of Pendreville, a Life from the Loam, a Gamble. I believe a Grove of the Burnwillows is what I saw. A Life from the Loam, Grove of the Burnwillows. 2 Grove of the Burnwillows. But because he leads off with Tabernacle of Pendreville, that means that every single creature on the field has a cumulative upkeep cost of 1, and if you're sorry, not a cumulative upkeep, an upkeep cost of 1. And if you're unable to pay that 1, or if you decide not to, your creature gets buried or destroyed. So because of that, James's mana development is actually gonna be a little difficult here. Every single creature that he plays is gonna have a cost. He's not gonna be actually advancing his mana because every creature that he plays he has to pay 1 for. Now he's gonna start out with this Deathrite Shaman as well, and that's the key card. Because Camden's Tabernacle cannot tap for mana, Camden will not be able to play Punishing Fire next turn unless he gets, I believe it's Riftstone Portal, into his graveyard. That allows him to tap for mana. So let's see, we have Grove of the Burn Willows. Maybe it's an exploration here. A Mana Bond. Mana Bond allows you to, during your cleanup step, discard your hand, and then all lands from it go onto the battlefield. So it looks that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to discard 2 Gambles, a Life from the Loam, and a Punishing Fire. Not a big deal for Camden at all. Now, if I'm correct, that Mana Bond happens at the cleanup step, and he shouldn't be able to play that Wasteland. Activate that Wasteland. I'm going to get a check on that really quickly, actually.
No. I take 2 because I played something else, so I take 2.
Okay, cool. So now that we have that cleared up, he wasn't able to use that Wasteland during the discard phase. You actually cannot activate abilities or use the stack during the discard phase. It's just a phase that you go to. It's like your untap step. So we rewound that, and now James does have 2 lands on the field. There is a Noble Hierarch that is untapped now, and it's not going to affect the board state too much. It's going to affect this 1 turn. But okay, so we have a correction here. Manabon actually has a different Oracle. He has an actual Oracle text. It has at the beginning of your end step. You have to activate it. Okay. So now he does have priority. It's not going to change too much. It actually would have been the same exact play, so yeah. It actually would have been the same play because he would have just paid for the mana. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You might want to talk to them. Can you go talk to them about it? Hold Osito. Okay. So we're gonna get a correction on the board state because of that. This is just for future reference. Either way, this Punishing Fire is gonna kill this Deathrite Shaman, and I don't know how this matchup is gonna turn out with the Tabernacle in play. It's just gonna be an aggressive Knight of the Reliquary going into Camden's board state. Now we have one of our spotters checking the board state. And now we just looked at the Oracle text. Okay, so here's one of the key cards in the matchup. Wasteland from James's side will allow him to deal with these special lands that Camden has, and Tabernacle is hurting James quite a bit here. He won't be able to advance his mana and play the key cards in the matchup. As long as Tabernacle is in play, he won't be able to activate or play as many cards as he needs to in order to get that critical mass of spells that Camden cannot deal with. Now, because Punishing Fire is in the yard, it will be a little difficult. Let's see. Because Punishing Fire is in the yard, it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to get these 1-drops and 2-drops that have 2 toughness into the play. There is quite a cost to it. Now, if James is able to Wasteland his opponent's Tabernacle of Pendrevale, and Camden doesn't have the 3rd land, he will be able to make this Mother of Runes worthwhile. Now, on the other hand, he can Wasteland his opponent's Grove of the Burn Willows and take him off of being able to buy back Punishing Fire using the Grove of the Burn Willows and then casting it in the same turn. Remember, Camden needs 3 mana in order to do that. Now Camden's going to dredge Life in Aloma on his upkeep. Allowing Life in Aloma says that it's a sorcery that for 2 mana you could cast it and target 3 lands in your graveyard. Those lands go into your hand. And then it has Dredge 3, so on your draw step, or you could replace any of your draws. You can replace any of your draws for Dredge. And it seems like Camden decides for Dredge, you can Dredge 3, mill the top 3 cards of your deck, and then put the Life in Aloma into your hand. Now, Camden didn't see a way out to that Knight of the Reliquary. It just got simply too big for him, and he decides to scoop up the game. Now, post board, it looks like James is going to put in a couple swords here. Aethersworn Canonist, a Gaddock? No, he's decided not to bring in those Aethersworn Canonists. Surgical Extraction is a card that's very good in the matchup. Again, Camden uses his yard to the full extent here, so any graveyard hate is a card that you must have in your deck against the land step. So let's see. Camden, on the other hand, he's bringing in his Surgical Extractions as well. I actually do not like that coming from Camden, because James does use the graveyard, but it's not for specific cards. It's for like any kind of fetch lands that he may need that grows his Knight of the Reliquary. And maybe he will want to kill a Deathrite Shaman and then Surgical it out of his opponent's deck. That is a good way to deal with it, but if you have Punishing Fire already online, then you don't need to exile all the rest of them from James's deck. So that's a very interesting sideboard plan. The Maverick deck is known for playing Stoneforge Mystic. So because of that, they do have a lot of equipments, like Umezawa Jite, as we see pulled to the front of James's deck there. Sword of Fire and Ice, and Sword of Feast and Famine, along with Sword of Light and Shadow. Those are 4 very crucial equipments in the matchup, along with Batterskull if he wants to just get in as much damage as possible. So I think that because Camden does have knowledge of this matchup, he might be interested in bringing in a Krosan Grip out of the sideboard. And Krosan Grip is pretty good in the matchup because of Stoneforge Mystic. Now, if James knows that, he might decide to reverse sideboard here and just take out the Stoneforge package altogether. So it's going to be interesting to see how Camden sideboards. It seems like he wants to take out one of his Karakas. And I actually do not like that, because Thalia, Guardian of Thrabian is a legend, or is legendary, along with Gaddock Teague, and let's see. I think that's actually it. But Dahlia's a pretty good target for Caracas, just in a pinch. I think Lands does play 2 Caracas though. So maybe he's not worried about leaving in 2. Like just 1 might do. So when I think about it, I think taking out 1 Caracas might actually just be the play. I couldn't quite see the end of James's sideboarding there, but there might just be. He might have just put in the swords to help his Stoneforge Mystic out a little bit. Maybe he changed up his equipment package and took out a Batter Skull and put in a sort of Fire and Ice to make his creatures protection from red, and that'll help them out against Punishing Fire when Camden has the shields down, per se. Now, I don't think that the strategies in the sideboard will change very much. You know, Camden's making a last-minute decision. Maybe just came to a realization here. Oh, he likes Chalice of the Void in this matchup, and he's taking out a Dark Depths. And that might be a response, like just knowing that James does play Swords to Plowshares, he might want to make sure that he has the game completely locked up before he goes for that play. Goes for the 20-20. Chalice of the Void is an easy way to do that. When you put Chalice of the Void on 1, they can't cast Swords to Plowshares, and a 20-20 is enough to do it. Enough to end the game. So I actually really do like that sideboarding from Camden there. Let's see how James responds in the matchup. It might come down to that Knight of the Reliquary again. Because Camden's going first, he'll be able to cast a Punishing Fire. He will be able to cast a Punishing Fire on James's 1 mana. I say 1 mana Dork. Just referring to a creature that's able to tap for mana, and it's usually a 1-drop, like Deathrite Shaman or Noble Hierarch, allowing James to accelerate into another Reliquary. But if Camden's going first, he will be able to reach 2 lands first, cast a Punishing Fire on that 1-drop, and he should be able to have a very good tempo swing from there. Camden does take a mulligan, so I don't think this hurts the Lands deck very much. Lands is actually one of the decks that can mulligan pretty aggressively, because it usually takes advantage of Life from the Loam in order to gain card advantage. So this isn't going to hurt Camden too much. For James, it might hurt him a little bit, so it's good that he's not taking a mulligan here. And Camden might be aggressively searching for this Punishing Fire, knowing that the advantage that he has. I see Grove of the Burn Willows, a Punishing Fire. 2 Grove of the Burn Willows, a Punishing Fire, a Ghost Quarter, a Thespian Stage, and I can't see the card to the far left of him. Scry 1, gonna keep it on top. Plays Grove of the Burn Willows to start out. How's it going? How are you guys?
What are you guys doing back here?
So we have a stream, Mirrored in Tech, and we're playing Legacy today.
How many viewers do you have right now?
I'm sorry?
How many viewers do you have right now?
I can't see right now because I'm new to the stream, but
There's too many things going on right now. All the finals are going on.
all the finals?
Yeah, for the GP and the Star City event.
Yeah. Twitch chat, let's chat real quick. What do you guys think about the Jace and Bloodbraid Elf unbattings? I want to hear your serious comments on it. How do you feel? What do you think will be good? What cards get better? What cards get worse? Are any archetypes going to stay in? I don't know. I honestly don't, but it seems like the format will be shaken up quite a bit, and everyone will be wanting to play their favorite Planeswalker, Jace the Mind Sculptor, and their favorite Jace Slayer, Jace Bloodbraid Elf. Now, something interesting here that's happening is that Camden is actually able to rebuy this Punishing Fire from his graveyard. is able to rebuy this Punishing Fire immediately. And then kill this Deathrite Shaman. Now let's see. This Ghost Order coming down. Oh. Now this is a card. We have Ramanov Excavator coming in as a spicy tech from James. And this thing has 3 toughness. It is out of range of Punishing Fire. If Camden wants to kill it, he's going to have to use 2 Punishing Fires. But in the meantime, he will be able to... James will be able to play lands from his graveyard. Now, lands really likes using Wasteland in order to get their opponent out of the game if they play non-basic lands. But Ramanov Excavator just stops that completely. Now, also, he has a little combo here with Horizon Canopy. He's able to sacrifice the Horizon Canopy, then replay it with Ramanov Excavator for his turn. Now, I don't know if he wants to do that. It seems like Tireless Tracker is a priority here, because remember, this is a lands deck. Tireless Tracker puts into play a clue token every single time that you play a land. And because of that, it's a very high priority target. He's going to have to waste the Swords to Plowshares on it. He follows up with a GT and a huge tempo swing to James. It's going to be very interesting from Camden's side. If he has another red source, he will be able to buy back this Punishing Fire and cast 2 Punishing Fires at his opponent. However, it looks like he has 2 Wastelands instead and a Dark Depths. He will be able to play the Dark Depths since that's being staged. Legend Rule it. Keep the one with no counters. And then immediately, because of state-based actions, he will be bringing in a 2020 Merit Lage. So that's what he decides to do. That's exactly what he's going to do. He just says, James, you've already used a Swords to Plowshares. I don't think you have another one, and I'm just going to threaten to kill you right now. Actually, James is at 21, so it's not necessarily 20 points to kill. A 20-point kill, but because he has a Punishing Fire in his hand, he will bring his opponent up to 22 life, and then immediately he will go down to 0. Now, James does have a second Swords to Plowshares here. So this is going to get pretty interesting really quickly, and I think James is going to run away with this game. It will take a little bit longer than usual because Swords to Plowshares will be able to give Camden 20 more life. So it'll be hard for this little 2/3 to get in, but because of Ramanov Excavator, because of Umezawa Jite, he will be able to get +1/+1 counters and just increase the power of the Ramanov Excavator itself. So here comes the long grind towards dealing 41 to Camden. Now, James leaving up this Wasteland as backup is very good insurance against a follow-up Thespian stage combo. Kevin just decides to play this Punishing Fire on the Knight because it's a 2/2. James responds with Wasteland in order to get his Knight up to a 3/3. And I don't like that play from Camden. Oh, I understand now. Because he had a Tabernacle, he wanted to protect it, so he has to get that Wasteland out of the way. Because James values this Knight very heavily, he's gonna have to he's gonna have to deploy the Wasteland. But now James is just gonna replay that Wasteland with Ramanov Excavator's effect. So if I were James here, how do I go about this? Now, Camden only has 2 cards in hand, so the only way that he'd be able to combo off again is if he goes Exploration, Thespian Stage, Dark Depths, and even then he's still a mana short. So I would tap this too. Use this Umezawa Jite. Attack with the Ramanov Excavator. Hit with the Umezawa Jite. Get those 2 counters. Start putting a faster clock on Camden. And then he's able to use Knight of the Reliquary at end of turn, probably finding a Wasteland. Getting rid of that Dryad Arbor because it's just a... Right now he has to pay 1 for that Dryad Arbor too. Just get rid of it. And Camden's just going to go into a Wasteland war, but he's not gaining any advantage here. It looks like James has this locked up. Not entirely. but it's pretty favored in James. I want to say it's about 80% to James. He's going to crack this clue token that he had left over and see if he could draw an extra card. Maybe something that could help him. I think I saw a Barbarian Ring going into his hand. So Little Waffle Copter is saying that mid-range is going to be pretty bad because of Jace. And he's going to build Ponza because Bloodbraid Elf is amazing and fun. I have to agree with you on that Bloodbraid Elf is pretty good. Mid-range is going to be really bad because of Jace. You have to remember that Bloodbraid Elf is predominantly in mid-range decks. So saying that they're going to be really bad might have some conflicting. I might have some conflicting arguments against your second statement about Ponza. Let's see. Bloodbraid Elf is a pretty good Jace killer. And it seems like the Jace decks are actually going pretty mid-rangey right now. They're predominantly creature-based, and they're actually really good. So trying to get a Bloodbraid Elf through those creatures and getting straight to Jace is going to be quite difficult in an upcoming format. But we'll see how it pans out. I think that the first GP for Modern is going to be in a few weeks. I think it's going to be in 3 weeks' time. So until then, we're going to have to rely on Magic the Gathering online results to see how it pans out. And right now, it's pretty diverse, but everyone seems to want to play with Jace and Bloodbraid Elf. They're shiny new toys. In the meantime, we see James pressing his advantage with the Scavenging Ooze, just taking advantage that Camden has to rely on his graveyard. Scavenging Ooze is just going to eat away at Camden's graveyard and just cause him so much havoc. I don't know how you beat that. If I were Camden, I would save some time and just scoop up the cards right now. Well, actually, because this is game 2 and James won the first one, you're not saving any time. You just gotta fight as hard as you can. To Camden, he's under this Wasteland lock with Wrapping Up Excavator. Wrapping Up Excavator is just like destroying Camden right now. I can't believe it. Okay, so Camden is trying to accelerate his mana here with this Mox Diamond, getting rid of one of his lands in play. He knows that he can't just Wasteland James all day. He's just going -1 land every single time he does that loop. Okay, so James is going to pay a life, exile a card from his graveyard, and it's going to be Punishing Fire. Kevin's going to respond and try to buy it back with the trigger on his stack. James is going to find another green source and just eat it away with this new green sources that he's going to find with Scavenging Ooze. That's exactly what he does, but Camden understands this interaction, and he's just going to buy it back with this Mox Diamond. Now, Punishing Fires, let's look up Punishing Fire really quickly. So let's see, Punishing Fire's ability triggers whenever your opponent gains life, and then you have an ability that's on a stack that says you may pay a red in order to buy it back. Now, all you need to do is to trigger the ability and put it on the stack is that your opponent has to gain life. So because of that, he's able to, as long as he has a red source open, he's able to buy it back. Now, James didn't see that play and just lost one of his lands. Just switch one of his lands in order to get this forest out. But either way, I don't think that this benefits Camden at all. It's going to be quite difficult to get through this board, especially as the Knight of the Reliquary just grows every single turn. Now, because the shields are down, he's just going to eat away all these Punishing Fires and all these graveyard relevant cards from Camden. With the Deathrite Shaman in James's graveyard, it's going to be hard for that Punishing Fire to deal with a 3/3 though. So let's see. So little waffle copter saying that decks like Mardu and Abzin aren't going to be as played anymore. Start seeing a lot of Sultai and Teamer decks because of Bloodbraid Elf and Jace. I actually do not like the Teamer decks very much. I really like the Sultai decks. Their sideboards are very strong. Black sideboard cards are insane, especially Leyline of the Void. We have Nihil Spellbomb that really does help the strategy. Collective Brutality is fantastic against Burn. It seems like black is the way to go instead of red. The Skoos didn't get a counter from eating the Punishing Fire. James quickly ate a Deathrite Shaman of his own, and that's how he got the +1/+1 counter. He did it on James's turn. He did it. So now we see James here trying to get rid of all the lands in his deck, thin out his deck a little bit, grow this Knight of the Reliquary, and if he does his math correctly, he should be able to, let's see, a little bit of math here. He should be able to escalate his clock by 1 turn by doing this, in exchange for taking a turn off of attacking with the Knight of the Reliquary. And that's over the course of 3 turns. But because of the Remnant Up Excavator, I actually think that this does nothing to his clock, since this Umazao Jite is threatening to deal +8 to his Remnant Up Excavator. So let's see, that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, plus any number of lands in James' yard. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10. It looks like 10 in his yard, so it looks like a 12, 12 Knight of the Reliquary. And now we see a beautiful Thalia Guardian of Thraben from James's hand. Gonna even press his advantage further against Camden. And there's the sideboard Surgical Extraction. It's gonna be way too difficult for Camden to get through this. I don't think James Camden could win this at all, honestly. But this is a masterclass of how to play Maverick from James. He's been playing this deck for I don't know how long. Since before the stream started, since before Mirrodin Institute of Technology, James has been playing Maverick, and he absolutely loves this deck. I'm pretty sure he knows exactly what he's doing. So take notes, guys. Ramming Up Excavator, perfect card against lands. So this Ramming Up Excavator is just putting in work. So... Wait, what? Let's see how much damage are you taking. So let's see, we got someone typing on. It's a 2-3. 2-3 for Ramming Up Excavator. Yeah, right. Oh, Ramming Up. Let's see.
Don't exist. It's not a real card.
Looks like Ramming Up Excavator doesn't exist on our search engine, so we can't even pull it up. But in the meantime, James just quickly takes that match. Cameron says, I've had enough, and I do not want to play this anymore.
It's not a real card.
So here at the ending stages of the game, you'll be able to see how James sideboarded. There's a little bit of banter at the table. These guys are very good friends, and it seems like James is just prioritizing, like, yeah, I'm just going to prioritize this Knight of the Reliquaries, Scavenging Ooze. I'm just going to make sure that I'm able to get to them as quickly as possible. His Green Sun Zenith are going to be able to up the copies of those cards and then just immediately...
He's real.
Yeah. And then he's just going to up the copies of them and just try to prioritize them as much as possible. So this match is over. James takes it 2-0, and we'll see you next round for round 2.
Play the fine-tune
Call that one. It's called Career Choose 2 other units, and they get free cans. So I'm and this goes to my neck and I shuffle it out. It was like it's definitely rocking here.
Yeah, you drew the flicker for that turn.
Why do you say that?
It's almost like you said, you have to try that first.
Oh, that's right. He counts as a grid. He gets grid plus 2 money. Using this drive. I have the. Wait, you don't have the stride here? You don't stride? Yeah, you can't ride. Well, it doesn't matter. Same idea. That's the rule. Well, even if this is done afterwards, it's still the same idea. Good to know.
They won't get it.
He comes up first. That's why. So, because when you started and there's no one,
I got 14. I'm gonna go around base. I'm gonna try to clip the sword here.
that's why it's important. Because when we stride, it only accounts for the side of it. Like that would be like active. It's like, that's why it's like those two after.
Response,
I mean, his deck was really
Oh, yeah.
and I can straight for a great.
I'll go grab it. I'll go.
And like every average deck, like
Yeah, I was at 13, so
it's continuous back and then the girl who I shuffle back as a deck. It's like very good. Two different
I'll
ways.
play at that much.
Whenever you summon, he gains continuous effect because I flip. I'm trying to see
We only got 4, so you
yeah, all of it continues, but that's when you place them in your zone, you didn't have any. It's not a permanent effect. It says when you place. This was gaining 3 for shit. Not in that.
These two.
This is what I call him. He gets when you place. Not a guy.
Oh, did you want to pour me?
5K next turn.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whatever they're
Yeah, those are permanent. No, those are permanent. No, not dominate. When they attack.
That's right.
Dominate when attacks, they get
Because I like response to my So I'm equipping.
It's a guy freaking.
Oh no, I have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah.
And my opener, my game one was yeah, I did. I saw the
I'll take your
one because if you ever get like yeah, or you get blood moon. So that's why I put that in there. But yeah, no, game one he turn one, he's on the play, turn one, and I'm over one land, ponder, brainstorm. I think like a Jace and so my whole hand is oh, it's a sword. Yeah, so
That's fine.
If you believe in men.
I'll put that.
So awesome.
yeah, for sure.
This one.
I mean, paper should be faster, but not when you get to someone.
And it's a goblin one. But it costs $25. Well, the goblin is free. Yep. How many
So I literally did not. I would have had to have forcible. I do. But I didn't. I kept the playable hand. It was like. Oh yeah. You're tired.
All of your matching colors needed to cast them.
I don't know what the hand means. We tried.
This deck is fully covered.
Why can't you play that one I played my gray? Oh no, because the gray ones I have is stupid broken.
I don't know.
That'll get me pretty good. I'm also thinking maybe as a white for like one on one.
I actually like that. That's always like every time I play, because you never shuffle your deck when I play. It's like stop. Oh yeah, I think people keep saying stupid attack. Yeah, that's
a great target for
stand trigger. Yeah,
This is like what I bored out.
So, can you one guard this?
I don't need to.
One more.
Check.
Starting around. I mean, my name is
Yeah, you really just want to jump in and enchant instead of so you ask for trying your way out of it.
Yes, I can.
They're so expensive.
Yeah, they're the most expensive ones. Because they see Modern play in like 3 decks or 4 decks. Infect's still a deck.
Oh my god.
Theoretically, since I'm not putting the word version together, and
I might just run
Don't even want to kill yourself hard.
Well, I've never seen the Orlando. I won one of my hard time playing Magic.
No, because he is in like the other guys.
I barely revealed.
Like, green does for a random number, and it's like, oh, okay, we can't do this. No, there's no yeah, sure, some people don't play him. I don't know, I play him, it's like I go home. It was really nice spiritual last time, but like I just like randomly resolving anything. It's like, oh, no. And he wasted like 2 files and didn't active that's right. Yeah. So like the snap extras were turned off too.
This one has to be
So he had like very few answers to take an attack, and I was just like, okay, well, it's like kind of about every card in this deck is, you know, like his counter spells. I have enough.
Yeah, that's
It's not worth it. Script Ranger was Karen.
Can't do it.
No, Script Ranger was like this with that class. Cards 2 or
discard any number of cards in your hand and discard. The only cost is to retire 2 units. Well, that's the cards.
Yeah, so it's not worth it. You don't have enough.
You fucked up. You don't get the plus boost.
No, because, okay, what he does is, he retires these 2 units, discards 2 cards, plus 1 drag check. And you can't land with that. So you can
Okay.
multi-pin
Yeah. I can't answer that question right now. Bye.
I take out 1 for the soul and get 7,000 extra.
Okay, so
Perfect card. 40.
There it is. Vintage staplers. Is it out? Hello? Hey, like, you read the first one I heard, it's like, kill all their mentors, kill all their boxes, their book no gold, their talents. Like, Dan Zilli
take the 1 down.
the exact stats.
Just like, oh wait,
Yeah, you need a blocker. I'm excited for that. You failed at the most awesome card combo. You would have had that sitting at 46. Remember, they're gonna line this already on this side of their ass. Yeah, you did.
I don't know anything about it.
Killing just called 2. Killing just called 2. 46, 2 crit, and 4 trick. So fucked up. 4 fucked up. Now he's gonna head.
Attention legacy players, picks for your second round have been posted. Attention legacy players, picks for your second round have been posted.
This one during my turn. No, actually not my So either way, this single guy is getting plus 4K. I have 2 aerial divine maxes face up in my system, so he's getting plus 4K.
Attention close-up patrons, if you're here for today's Standard Store Championship and have not already done so, please enter your name to the sign-up sheet. If you're here for today's Standard Store Championship and have not already done so, please enter your name to the sign-up sheet.
Now you can do it.
That guy's
We're just kind of sitting. I don't think anyone's really following the table.
He played against the Anderson who does get plus 2, so he does have it.
Yeah, Brandon James.
Unless you got 11K.
I mean, if you want to, I'm not gonna complain.
That's alright.
It's fine with me.
I was one-on-one.
Yeah.
And the one that
Alright.
lost was
There you go. You go on you.
At least I know I can't win.
Probably shouldn't have it next.
What should just be?
Here
you go. Alright.
Enough of the dog on.
Getting Charles Charles the boy, he says, cost, it smells the cost of command cost equals Charles. It's not as bad. I mean, I still can pull out of it, and it's really hard. So it basically says, smells the cost of this cost candy cast, and they put it on beer. That's my entire I don't have this soul one cast. Alright. That's like the original. That card, like, that's why situations like you have to have on Charles.
Hi stream, I'm Justin. I'm going to be basically watching two people play Magic and saying probably some really goofy stuff while they shuffle and play cards. Got Blackwood, Reanimator, and Maverick. So basically watching a bunch of people play a bunch of good cards, and we have another stream.
Yeah, I'm actually going to get a splitter for the microphone.
Yeah, go for it. So we're gonna get two people doing commentary, which is basically somebody's gonna be actually talking about the match and making comments about plays and things that probably should or should not happen, and another person's gonna be sitting here just yucking it up, making jokes. So.
We're the same results.
Because Diablo didn't have anything on the board. He had nothing to retire.
Retired.
I could have guarded 2 things.
The thing was, what you fucked up was this part.
So for those of you that can't see what's going on, we just fetched a dual land, and we're gonna use that for mana the way that, you know, things typically happen in Legacy. You fetch a dual land and you use it for mana. So.
Sorry, puppy.
Where's
the headphone jack?
We have a booth of 3 here.
Is that this one? Yes, I think, right? Give me a second. We're going to just hook this up so both microphones are set up. There you go.
So I'm being joined by.
Test 2.
This needs to be hidden. They can see that screen.
Oh, no. This is for...
No, but they can see.
I understand,
Yeah.
but this is just for
I
that.
get you.
All right.
But he can. Yeah.
Trust me, I'm the one that actually made the stream. How's it going, everybody? All right. Let's see, we've got some commentary here. Let's go. Shouldn't get a counter for eating a punishing fire. Oh,
That was the last match.
last match, all right. Okay, so we got Maverick versus Reanimator. This is going to be interesting because, look, Maverick... Actually, I just lost against Maverick with Death and Taxes. So, the thing about Maverick is that this one runs 4 Death Ray Shamans. So, Death Ray Shaman is very good against Black Red Reanimator because already main deck, you've got something that can eat away at the creatures. Xander, this is his second tournament ever, actually, in Legacy. He's using actually my Black Red Reanimator deck, so I actually know everything that's in it. Can't exactly.
I believe there's a
Gristle
Grizzly
Brand.
Bones in the graveyard, so we've got a target.
Yeah, that Gristle Brand. Let's see if he can do something to get it. because like I was saying, the danger becomes there. You go, the death ray. That's going to start. Yeah, he's going to start realizing really
Let
quickly.
me read this card. Does this do what? Yeah, it does what I think it does.
Yeah,
This
he's
is
going to
bad.
start realizing very quickly what it can do. Here, let me see if I can pull it up. All right, let's see if this actually works. Give me 1 second. Let me do the card preview and see if we can get it to show up. There it is. So there's a Death Ray Shaman for those of you that aren't familiar with it, but I think everybody is. So unfortunately, in that time it took me to do that, we've got Xander now adding to his mana base. Unfortunately, like I was saying earlier, his creatures can be removed at instant speed as a result of Death Ray being on there and green mana being up. So he's probably going to try to load more creatures into there. That way, you know, because remember, the Death Ray can only eat one at a time. At least that's what I would do, using the, what's the card called?
Reanimate.
No, the one, draw two, it's in my deck, I should know that.
Yeah,
I'm just
the one
blanking.
The one that you can
The one that
exhume.
draw two, discard two,
The
pay
face
one
is
red.
loading.
Frantic Search or something. Yeah, so you can start seeing the creatures are starting to be exiled already. It's just going to be like every turn creature exiled, every turn a creature exiled. So Xander is basically going to have to fill his yard faster than Eric can empty it. That's basically what's going to have to happen. Eric, basically the longer this game goes, the better Eric's going to do. Maverick, because he hasn't even played the main card. Oh, Green Sun Zenith for 1 looks like. You're probably another Death Ray.
I would get another death right here.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh, Scavenging was even better. All right, so let's pull up the Scavenging Ooze here.
So Scooz is going to start eating creatures at a rate of 1
Exactly.
forest for 1 creature.
So for those of you that aren't
we have
familiar
like
with
10
it-
forests in play right now. So
Exactly.
pretty much all the creatures are leaving the graveyard next turn.
1 green mana is all it takes, guys. 1 green mana per trigger. So it's a pretty darn good activator ability right there.
I think there's 5 green in play right now.
All right. So I'm just going to adjust something on here. Profile. Unlock. There we go. That's better. That way it's more clear for you guys.
I thought I shuffled it in.
Thoughtseize is still good. It stays on the table.
Who was the target for the Thoughtseize? I missed that. Himself, probably, right?
It's pretty much irrelevant.
Because he has ways of removing the creatures anyway. No, but I mean, like, again, if he has ways that he thinks he can outpace...
It was Source of Plowshares that he took with the Thoughtseize to basically make it so that...
Now, the only way it'd be relevant for him to target himself is, like I said, if he felt he could outpace the removal of the creatures so that he could actually do something this turn, but...
No, he targeted his opponent and took a Source of Plowshares. And now we're...
No,
We
pretty
have
much now
5 green
it's
mana. This is
a game.
This is it. We're done here.
Yeah, I don't really see how Xander can come back from this. Oh, and now we got a Maze of Ith in play.
Yep.
So even if he did let's say he did resolve a Gristlebrand, you know, and did attack, there's going to be a life link triggers from that. He's not going to be able to have enough life total to draw 7 off of that after a couple of more turns with all these little critters.
I benefited in the fact that
Now, the Black-Red Reanimator build it's really only good if you can go off like turn 1, turn 2. It has, I guess we'll do a mediocre mid game against certain deck types, but against Maverick, it's really, really hard.
We're not going to see the gentleman's scoop here. We're just going to like, you know what?
Yeah, I mean it's game.
Beat me.
They both are. They both are. I mean, they know it. So now Xander is probably wondering what to sideboard in.
Yeah, what do you board against really good creatures?
Well,
And,
he's on the play now, so here's the thing. Like, he's got you see Blazing Archon he's bringing in, which creatures can't attack you, which is pretty relevant here. I'd bring in Elish Norn. Um, yes, good, very good. Way to go, Xander. Because resolving those two is really good. The question is, Sire of Insanity. What role does Sire of Insanity have here, right? Because if you have Sire of Insanity in your opening hand, you have the Reanimate combo in your opening hand. Eric starts the game off with 0 cards in hand, top decking away. It is a very, very good position, and it can only really happen if you're on the play. Typically, that's what you do when you start the game on the play because you win the die roll on game 1. And then traditionally, you win game 1, you're not going to win. I mean, sorry, you don't choose to go first, obviously, because the other person will. So your game 2, you sideboard out the Chancellors. That's usually the way that the order works. However, in this case, he lost game 1, so he's on the play. So the question is, does he think they're relevant or not to keep or to switch out for the 2 better creatures that he just chose? I didn't see if he took them out or not, but
It looked like a blue card came out. I don't know if you have anything.
what was that?
It looked like a blue card had come out. So
Oh, he took out the Tidespread Tyrant. Which Tidespread, I really like that card, to be honest. It's just so good in so many different situations. Because think about it, if you were to use that on a death, right? First thing that's going to happen, what's not looking? Sprout. Tidespread, there it is. That's right, Tidespread. Because one thing that's going to happen is every time you bound to death, right, like with a Lotus Spell or whatever, it's going to take a whole turn for it to get past the summoning sickness to be able to use it again. So as long as you can keep getting little things coming out, you can keep bouncing them up. It's also a flyer, which Eric is very weak against flyers, being a Maverick deck, right? Maverick decks, a lot of guys, Lord of the Grind, you got your Scavenging Ooze, you got your, the Reliquary. There is one creature that he does have that he should probably know about. I forget the name of it. Not a Scripts, right? It's that stupid fairy that's protected from blue. That you can return a force to your hand to untap a creature. So that's a really good card, and that would be able to block a Tidespread Tyrant. But nevertheless, the triggers would still happen, although the triggers would not affect that one creature. But I highly doubt that Xander is aware of that creature, or is making that decision based off knowledge that creature is in this deck.
And the best flyer in the Maverick deck against Reanimator really is just Swords to Plowshares. You don't need a flying blocker if you can just exile the creature. So that's probably the plan for Eric, is just to have creatures on the board and build a presence, and then just use 1 mana to answer whatever it is the Reanimator deck can do, and just punch in for 2 or 3 at a time, until the Reanimator deck is out of threats, and try to eat the graveyard just like it did last time with Death Rat Shaman and Skoos. So I don't expect too much difference here from the Maverick side. In terms of what the game plan is. But
Exactly, just gotta do what he was doing before, and he should be fine. The question, this is really Xander's game to win. I mean, it's Eric's to lose.
how's your opening hand? If it's there, and he doesn't have the Source Plowshares, which, let's see, I think I see at least 1. Looks like 2. So two Swords of Plowshare is going to be really, really hard for Xander to beat, even if he can get that Sire of Insanity combo off.
He's got to hope for a Chancellor in opening hand too.
Yeah.
To hold that off for 1 turn, because I don't think that Eric has any ways of producing 2 mana in the opening turn. Because if he can resolve a Gristlebrand, then that'll be enough time to draw into the cards he needs, set up like an extra turn 2 or 3, and be able to deal and handle the Source of Plowshares. So he really needs to.
And you can mulligan aggressively, knowing that your opponent plays Source of Plowshares. You may have to.
It's true. The problem is obviously the things you need, a way to get the creatures to the graveyard and a reanimation spell, and the mana to do those in the same turn.
Obviously, got 2 petals here, so
Yeah.
we can Cheerio our way into turn 1.
Keep that on top. All right, here we go.
Yep, looks like it. And here's the Cheerio.
Faithless Looting, is that what's happening?
Ship that out.
Just
get a rip.
Got 3 mana. There you go. So he's got a reanimate spell. He has to have a reanimate spell. Probably going for Gristlebrand. Yeah.
Greasy Bones into the Grumper.
What he's probably hoping is to draw all the cards off of it and be able to resolve on the ground a Elish Norn or a Blazing Archon. But he knows he's up against
Well, what he wants is exactly what you were mentioning before, that Sire of Insanity.
You can already see where Sire would have been here.
He wants to
Insane.
draw 14 and try to have that happen, because he knows his opponent is playing Source Blaster, so he's got to get those out of there.
Yeah. Sire would have been really good here, but it's okay.
Okay. Grizzly Bones
Where's
into play.
It's pretty amazing itself. There you go. That's the right move.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, that's a rough beat. He may be able to cast that one Thoughtseize, but there's 2 Swords and Plowshares in Eric's hand. So
That's right. I took out the Cabal Therapies in the deck before.
this
That
is
would have
gonna
been
be a
really
beating.
nice. But if does he have an unmask? He has an unmask.
Shouldn't we-
He has unmask, but you can cast for free.
Alright.
So if he can do that, cast
should,
unmask.
should Xander be at...
Yeah, it took 7
Okay.
from Gristlebrand.
Oh, we got... Okay, that's Animate Dead. Sorry.
He's gonna do it again. Good.
My fault.
That's fine. Very, very good. But I hope he realizes to use the black cards in his hand that he doesn't need to cast Unmask for free. Because if he does that,
Well, now he's got 2 Thoughtseizes and enough mana to cast them both.
but the problem is you don't need the Thoughtseize because Unmask is a Thoughtseize for free.
Right.
So that's why if you're at 6 life, that's the better choice. Because you can look at his hand, you can get rid of those removal spells, resolve your Elish Norn, resolve your Blazing Archon, and he got the game. Because he's got Entombs in his hand, so you can search out those creatures. He just needs to neutralize his opponent's hand. He's even got what do you call it, Iona, naming Iona White. I mean, he has to know that Source of Flasher is the best removal spell that his opponent's got. So, and he'll know it if he looks at his damn hand. So
There he goes.
I'm glad he's finally deciding to. Yeah, so he gets rid of the Entomb. I'm not sure if that's the best one to get rid of. I haven't seen the whole thing. Oh, and he's doing it himself. Jesus Christ. No.
What are we doing,
Xander,
bud?
What are you doing?
What are you doing, dude?
What are you doing, dude?
He just entombed his hand. Okay, that's
He's
fine.
going for the Iona. But I know why he did that, guys. Just so everybody's aware, I know why he did that. He's because he wanted to resolve the Iona, and he had it in his hand, so he could not entomb and search for it because it's already there. So that's why.
Guess what's happening? Guess what's
So,
happening?
yeah, probably name it. I'm gonna ask him to confirm. Give me 1 second. Xander, what are you naming? You're naming green? Okay.
So, Iona's coming down on green, which is
He's
going to
naming
make
green.
Xander have a really, really sad life in a minute.
So he's afraid of the death rights.
It's
It's not gonna matter when he
needs
gets that
to...
card.
Well, he's got 2 Thoughtseizes, which is going to
Yeah.
actually get him out, but he's going to be at 1.
Does he not have an unmasking? But he has the freaking collective brutality. He has a collective brutality. He should have cast the collective brutality and dumped the 2 creatures. He could have dumped Iona and no, he could have done both because collective
He still
brutality you
needs
need to have a
to.
creature. His opponent needs to have a creature for you to be able to activate both modes of collective brutality. But you can activate 2 of the 3. So in other words, he could have discarded the Iona for the collective brutality without having to sacrifice the discard
And then you
spell,
have a
which he could
mana
have used on
problem
his
at that
opponent.
point, though.
Yeah. So that's another line of play that he could have done.
Yeah, I think when you slam 2 haymakers onto the table on turn 1, though, you probably are just saying to yourself, okay, how do I lose, right? And the way you lose is your opponent has 2 Swords of Plowshares in hand and can answer both of your threats.
Oh, but he is
You
casting
absolutely have to
Thoughtseize.
cast. You absolutely have to call white in that scenario.
Congratulations, Xander Sword Championship. We are now accepting payments.
Oh, no. It's a lot closer than I would have liked it to be. Wait, okay, all right. Eric knows he has threats. Well, Zyder's going to gain life either way. Either from the Source of Plowshares on one of his creatures, or from Gristlebrand, right? Here he goes. Okay, so we've got Source of Plowshares happening in response to what? The Reanimate spell?
To response to the reanimate of the Chancellor.
So he only gains 6 off that because of the Animate Dead. Yeah, exactly. So that's exiled.
Gain some life.
So he's at 9. Good. And then now, I think he's going to resolve the Reanimate spell, bring back the Chancellor Reanimax. I think.
So what's awkward is, like, we're both looking at this from the
There it is,
perspective
yeah.
of having great
There it is.
information, but also knowing like if you just take
So Chancellor's amazing. Chancellor's really good because now basically everything is going to be taxed. It's like a dollar, right? So Chancellor, if you go Chancellor of the Annex. There we go. Right, so now all of Eric's spells are going to be countered unless he pays an extra 1. So that's pretty good. So like it's functioning like a Thalia, and it's like only one-way Thalia, right? It's going against Eric. And now he's casting a discard spell, I believe. Yeah, unmasked.
Oh, we got there.
So he's looking at the source of plowshares. Very good.
It's like, wow, you had a lot of these. Yes, I did.
So that means he had 3, right?
I want this one.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the art on this one
Good,
more.
good.
Pitch that one.
Good.
Attention, sub-patrons, if you're in today's Dragon Ball Super Tournament and have not already done so, please add your name to the sign-up sheet. If you're in today's Dragon Ball Super Tournament and have not already done so, please add your name to the sign-up sheet.
Is there any reason to not call white with your Iona there?
I don't know, man. I know why you call it green because you figured green would hit the death rates, but at that point you don't care about the death rate because you already resolved
15, 20 power on the
because
table.
exactly because you already resolved it. I understand why he did it but you already resolved it, so you don't care about things that'll prevent you from reanimating. You care about things that'll stop the things that are already out. Exactly. That's why you name white.
I can't think of any green spells that deal with this board state.
Right. So yeah, you have to have 2 mana for that.
Thalia, get rid of your Iona, no problem.
Yeah, and then he's
Take
okay.
5.
He's out of his
okay,
source of plowshares, and the only good thing is that number 1, Xander is going to be outpacing him because now he's taxed for 1 mana,
Right.
and like I said earlier, he's got a flyer. Maverick is weak against flyer. So I think we're going to go to see a game 3 really quickly here.
In some ways, you want Eric to have drawn that 4th Swords of Plowshares just to punish him for not calling white.
For not calling
with
white,
Iona.
yeah. So that hopefully he can realize it for the next game.
Yeah. But I guess I'll play this guy. Don't play this guy. Wait.
It's not going to matter. He knows it.
Backsies. Nope. Backsies on that too.
Well,
Let's do this because then we can gain some life now. Try to raise this 5/6, and just try to draw that 4th Source of Plowshares.
Because the other thing that he can do is that Eric can look for a Maze of Ith using the Reliquary, which is just sort of stall out until he can find another way to deal with the Chancellor. So this is where getting an Elish Norn would be beautiful. If you can get the Elish Norn, Eric should scoop. If he can resolve it. There it is, exactly. That is why you bring Elish Norn in this matchup. And Eric knows it.
Yep.
So if he can, so like I said, I don't know what if he has a Dark Ritual or something else inside or what, but if he can resolve it. But yeah, let's see what happens. Probably.
I think he's on draw land. He's used like 4 Cheerios this game, so he's out of pedals.
Just reanimate. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Elish Norn, scoop. Told you.
There we go.
Yeah.
That
was a good game too.
It might sound like a little bit of a bias, but I really wish that Eric could have punished Xander for that not calling white on Iona play. But I think
he learned
probably
anyway.
will have learned something by it. When you have an unbeatable war state, call the color that beats you. If you take away anything from watching this match at home, that's probably where I would go. Call the color that beats you with your turn 0 Iona.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Usually a good idea. Call a color that beats you. So now, so Xander's pretty solid with a sideboard. Now, again, Xander's got to go into this knowing he's on the draw, right? So if you know you're on the draw, what's the mentality for Reanimator, right? So having an opening hand with a Chancellor is good because it gives you a chance to set up a turn, you get a draw. But the Sire of Insanity at this point, if they're not out of his deck already, they should be out completely at this point. Bring in other stuff. Blazing Archon was a good choice. Yeah, if there were any Sires left, I'd get the tight spout Tyrant. But I don't think he needs that much else. Xander he knows the spells he needs to resolve. Hopefully now he knows what color to name. And if he does those 2 things, I think he's got it. Now
What's awkward though this time is that he's not on the play anymore. So making a call for white, right, could actually get you blown out in this situation if there's an untapped land.
Unless he has the opening hand Chancellor.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. So then it's all going to depend on what the opening hands are. For those of you just
So
joining
if
us,
you're
we're in
if
game
you're
3.
if you're Xander here, what is your first choice for Entomb?
I think the answer is usually always a Gristlebrand. And the reason being, because if you can resolve the Gristlebrand, you're going to draw probably 14 cards, which are either going to give you the creatures you want, or the way to get the creatures you want into your graveyard. So it's just an enabler. Gristlebrand is an enabler, and that's why if you don't have any other choice, he's the best one.
Right.
The only excuse to look for something else, I would think, would be if like, okay, because again, we know Xander's on the draw, right? So he's probably going to resolve like a death right. Eric probably has a death right in hand. I mean, he wouldn't have kept it probably otherwise. So then, if he gets an Elish Norn early on, then it'll take out the death right. That's dangerous though. That's dangerous. I'll tell you why. Because Eric runs Caracas. Because Eric runs Source of Flushes. So if he gets Elish Norn out there and Elish Norn dies, then all the utility he could have had to lock down the game later on, like we saw, is gone. Yep, it's gone very early. So Gristlebrand is a better card to enable that.
Now, the trap here is if Eric has a turn 1 mana dork that isn't Deathrite Shaman, right? He's potentially setting up a turn 2 Scoots.
Yes.
And not showing Xander any kind of interaction from the Deathrite Shaman or something like that. So
then, you're right. So then at that point, Xander should hope he has a Collective Brutality.
Right. Exactly. And we're going to 5. Yeah. Which again, it's not that big of a deal.
I'm a draw
this deck is a,
Crystal Patrons,
you know, it's a 3-card combo deck. So the I think I have to get up for a second, but basically what I was getting at was, you know, you mull the 5. It's not that big of a deal if you only need like 3 cards.
Exactly. I mean, this one isn't very friendly against mulligans. At the same time, you can still get a game-winning hand at 5, especially if you're on the draw. So
you're gonna get that scry. It's basically a 6-card in your hand.
Exactly. You're gonna go play in the Standard Championship or something? All right. So for those of you guys that are still with us or just joining us, thank you very much for following along. We are bringing you Legacy Round 2 of the Swiss here at Cool Stuff in Miami, Florida. Yeah, exactly. So like we talked about earlier, he had to keep a hand. He had to keep a hand that had a death right, and he got it. So now Xander's in a bit of a conundrum. Oh yeah, because he's already let 2 turns happen, and he did not have a chance to tax the spell. So Xander's got to be thinking: does Eric have removal? Does Eric have? Because remember, at this point, anything that Xander puts in the graveyard, should he put into his graveyard this turn, is going to get eaten by the death ray. So again, we talked about this earlier. He's got to outpace the death right in terms of getting stuff into the graveyard. The one way to do that very easily with a technical brutality, because you feel your graveyard while getting rid of the death right. But if you don't have that hand, then it's awful. And that wasteland is going to be very potent. I mean, Xander just really needs to use 1 land if he gets it right to tip off to start the cascade of spells, death, dark rituals, etc., etc. So it's not as devastating as it could be in terms of just like blowing out like a single combo, but long term it could be an issue because basically it might mean he has 1 chance to go off and that's it.
Are we dead yet?
So basically Xander hasn't been able to do anything. And I got him other runes too. Okay. So like I said, the flyers are a very good idea because flyers can get past Mother giving protection to a ground blocker.
We've got 3 Cheerios in play.
Yeah.
This is
what's he got in hand?
Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Probably the 4th Cheerio.
And here's the problem. Now, even if he gets a Relic Brutality, what's going to happen is he has Mother of Runes. So he'll just give it protection from white or from black, and then, you don't have any way of getting rid of the thing that's going to be eating up your graveyard, and that's the last thing you want. And he doesn't look like he has any removal spells.
Eric's sitting on Wasteland too. I mean, this is a pretty brutal board state for Xander.
Well, there's a creature. But there's any way. Well, he could unmask himself, but again, before he could resolve and reanimate spell, the death rate's going to eat it.
Gone.
He needs a collective brutality is what he needs. I do run some creature removal in the sideboard. I don't think that he. I just don't think he brought any of that in. So.
We're gonna try this.
He's revealing his hand for that. Oh, but this is good. he's going to be able to resolve something because what he's going to do is
It's going to
he's going
target
to
the
let him
reanimate.
eat
Yeah.
that,
Mhm.
then cast Entomb, and then use the other 2 mana to bring in an actual creature. And if he gets the Elish Norn now, he's going to board wipe. The question is he going to get Elish
Well,
Norn
can
or
he
is he going to
can he respond to one of the death rate trigger with one of these reanimate
Right, so
spells?
he has to decide, is he going to respond to the with the death rate by getting rid of this guy? Or is he going to let this one resolve and keep him on board to prevent the second creature that he can get from the Entomb? Basically,
Well, but what he has though, he has Exude, right? So what he has right now is he's got access to 3 mana, so he can use both of the reanimate spells if the Death Ray Shaman targets the Chancellor, or he can go for Entomb next turn. It looks like he's going to try.
Yeah, he's
So he's
trying to
gonna-
force the death rate, right?
So then,
Oh, he doesn't have the mana, the right to cast
right,
both
and
the
that's what I was,
Entomb and
what I was
the...
getting
No.
at. But like,
I
so
see, I see, I see.
is one of these an instant though?
No, they're all the reanimate spells are sorceries. The Entomb is an instant.
I thought one of them was an instant.
No. That'd be broke as hell.
Yeah, it would be. But,
Yeah, no, they're all sorceries. the only instant spell is the Entomb.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, what do you call it? There's other spells that are instants in the deck, but in terms of reanimate related spells,
So it sounds like to me this is just a scoop.
you just wonder if there was a way
I don't think there's a
for
way.
Xander to have had one more mana, because one more mana and he would have resolved a creature.
It's possible. Well,
Yeah, because remember, the death rate would have
right.
committed
He needs,
itself
he
there.
needs one, right?
And if you could have entombed the Elish Norn, then we'd have a game, but we don't.
Brutality. This seems fine. One mode, just duress, or we want to siphon and put a clock on you.
Xander should know what that is because he should be the one casting it.
Yeah, that's right. What does this card do? It's in your deck, dude.
But like I said, technically it's my deck, so.
So here we go.
Wait,
He's
why did
basically
you discard
saying,
both?
I'm going to put Grizzly Bones in the
Oh,
graveyard.
he's
I'm going to use my
resolving.
Reanimate spell, and then I'm going to try to draw a land and hope you forget that you have Deathray Shaman in play. But we need a land and a Reanimate spell, or we just need an actual Reanimate, 1 mana, pop this last Cheerio, and try to actually get there on my opponent forgetting about Deathray Shaman.
If he gets a Faithless Looting, he could load up his hand with like a reanimate spell and dump creatures. But no, he has to do 0 cards in his hand.
He's got
So
0
yeah,
cards
that
in his
wouldn't
hand.
work. Yeah, yeah.
So he's literally just hoping his opponent forgets about Deathray Shaman. It's not a good place to be.
No.
He noticed. Never touches his deck once I play it. He like just runs it over.
Attack for 1. Okay. Can you draw 2 cards in your... No? Can't do that? Okay. Then I guess
No.
you lose.
How you doing, sis?
We don't talk about that.
Did you at least win a game?
Yeah, we won, but that was the game before.
Okay, so you got win a game. So
Do
guys,
you
this is
want-
Gabby over here. Say
Gabby,
hi.
do you want headphones? Because I actually have to go.
Okay.
You're in.
Go for it. Tag out, tag in. Thank you so much for your commentary. What was your name again? Then?
Justin.
Justin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so we're switching out Justin for Gabby, who is here in her very first Legacy tournament. She's only been playing Magic for about, what, a month? Exactly, yeah. So you're playing Burn today. It's also, you're familiar with it for about a day, so but you won a game with it, right?
One. Yeah.
You won a game in your first ever Legacy tournament, and you've been playing for a month. I think that's pretty good. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's pretty good. So what we're seeing here is the definition of a blowout, okay? So poor Xander. See, revenge, because Xander beat you first round, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's getting his butt kicked, don't worry.
Good.
So, yeah, it's over. Game over. So 2-1, Eric takes it with Maverick. So what happened here, Gabby, is that Xander wanted to reanimate the stuff from his graveyard, as you saw, right? The problem is that Eric has a lot of cards that help get rid of the stuff that's in Eric's graveyard, you see? So the creatures that he was going to bring in, guess what? They're not there anymore. Eric was going to get rid of them. And then, as he was doing that, which is basically holding off Xander from doing that, he was able to build a little army of creatures that was just like attacking and moving. Now, in the second game, Xander actually took it. And Xander did a very good job because he brought in creatures, and he basically did everything in the first turn and sort of outpaced Eric, and he has flying creatures. So flying creatures can't be blocked if you don't have flying, which
I
you
hate
learned
flying
yourself, right?
creatures.
You can always play with flying creatures. I'm just saying.
Not in my deck.
Well, werewolves don't fly, or do they? No, they don't. You can make them fly.
No, I
There's
can't.
cards that make them fly.
There are.
Yeah, but not very good. But you could. I'm just saying. It's a thing. And what's it called, angelic blessing or something like that. But yeah, so that match. I wonder how some of the other guys are doing. You guys heard from Emil on commentary during game one. He'll probably it was him against James. So that'll be a good one. I think James. I don't know what James is on. He's usually another Maverick player. So there's usually two Maverick players. We got Eldrazi here. We've got myself on Death and Taxes. Gabby here on Burn. Which she's getting better at day by day. Then what else have we got? Brandon on some kind of Esper or something. Then we've got Xander and Reanimator, obviously. Eric also on Maverick. And then we have Camden. I'm not sure what Camden is playing today. I don't think I've gone up against him recently. Oh, he's on lands. That's right. He plays lands. So those are the decks that you guys will be seeing today. So for now, we're going to cut to break, and then we'll be coming back with round 3 of Swiss. Try to bring you some of the XO players. But yeah, anything you want to say, Gabby, about your experience so far?
I like my other deck better.
Which other deck do you like?
Is it a modern werewolf deck?
Hmm.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, but we're not in the modern tournament, are we?
I didn't know that.
It's a legacy tournament. Modern tournaments would have been last night, but somebody had better things to do than hang out with
had a
her
party.
future brother-in-law.
I just said I don't want all my perfect cards.
I know Rafi's not watching, but hi, Rafi, just in case.
It's his girlfriend, if you didn't know.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
sister.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna cut the break, and then hopefully she'll turn that frown upside down. So, do you remember how to cut the break? Here we go. Thanks, guys.
he's playing like 2 now. Strike.
All right, mics are live now.
Or table 1, should we be at table 1 or like?
I'm on bye.
Or like, what do you? No. I mean, I'm against Emil. Like,
You wait. You wait for him.
no. He dropped him in this game.
Sure. Go to table 1. Well, who do we want on standard right now? Who do we want on camera? I could have you guys on camera if you don't mind. Yeah. Have you been on camera yet? Yeah, you guys go to camera. I'd appreciate it. So we'll put Maverick. No, it's going to be Schmidt and Emil. So what we'll do is we'll go to here, and I'm going to change the settings. So Eric stays the same, round 3, and then Maverick stays the same. I don't know what he's on. I think it's Jeskai. I'll fix it later if not. I think it's Jeskai control, but I'm not sure. And then why don't you go ahead and look up the Maverick card, Maverick card, just to set up a quick background. Get rid of the W. Cool. We're good. So I am live. We are good. You're live and we're good. The other mic is set up in case somebody else wants to use it. It's right here. No, my volume was down. Oh yeah. So we are good here. Sweet. Cool. All right. And we'll be good. Thank you, sir. All right, everybody. Welcome to
tournament. We are now accepting payments. If you're today's Dragon Ball Super Tournament, we are now accepting payments.
All right. We are in Legacy here, everyone. Emil on, I believe, Jeskai. I have to take a look at his list again. I saw Jeskai the last round, not quite positive with it. And Eric on Maverick. So we do have another Maverick player here today. And this could be a very interesting matchup. I've seen Maverick pull around for sure against these decks, but we will have to see. So we will have Maverick going first here for the round 3.
You have 50 minutes on the clock. You may begin.
I do have a bye this round, which is a shame, but I'm here to commentate for you guys, and let's hope it goes well. I'm hoping if I can win my next round, be 3-1, knock it in, but it is a close game for every matchup here for Eldrazi. I had to fight round 1 against round was against Esper Control, round 2 here against Lands, so Lands crushes me. No, the Skoos, I believe, gets a counter only for, hold on a second here. The Skoos only gets a counter for eating creatures. Other than that, it does not get a counter, which is a shame. Trust me, I'm aware. But, yeah, actually, I'm liking this setup a lot. This feels much better. This is the setup I need James to bring every time. I think I want to give this matchup a 50-50 for now. We're going to see what goes on. I think Maverick can definitely hold its own against Jeskai Control. I believe it's Jeskai Control. I will fix it. If not, it could be 4-color because I've seen him play 4-color before. But I saw mainboard counter spells, which we don't see in 4-color usually. We do have Eric going down to 6 for a non-keepable hand, but we will get there, no worries. I guess mid-range would be a little harder sometimes there, but we shall see. So it might be Jeskai Mentor. I did see Mentors on the board. I do see tokens there, and we will have to see. Sorry, a few people around me, just making sure I'm not too loud. They are a little 2 tables away, 3 tables away. No bad, not too bad. All right. Plains, Mother of Runes, not a bad start for Eric. We're going to see a mill off of the turn 1 Terminus. So this is weird. I'm not used to seeing him play a build like this in Magic. We are going to see a turn 1 Ponder, which is good for him. Eric does have a Verdant for Thalia, which is nice. Or we could see him snap off a Wasteland here. I'm not sure how many lands are in Emil's hand, whether a Wasteland will be effective or not. Because he is doing a shuffle. We have 1, 2, 3, 3. So Wasteland isn't effective, but there's no way for him to know that. He's going to search up Bayou. We're hopefully going to see Folly here. Green Sun. Green Sun for 1, finding Noble. Deathrite, okay. So, another source of ramp, not too bad. Mill hasn't shown us a fetch land yet. We're going to see some things. I'm not sure what we're going to see. We're going to see... I believe that's Counterbalance. Works for my computer. Counterbalance search. Counter. Well, apparently counterbalance isn't a card. Here we go. It's one word. My apologies. So this is a counterbalance for you guys. Not the usual thing we're used to seeing here. We do have a night out. It is a current. Looks like a terminus. Very odd. I already drew for turn, so it's very interesting. Actually, I'm not sure how to feel about this, but Deathrite. We're gonna do counterbalance trigger, reveal ponder. Very interesting. So I guess this is a Jeskai, or at least this looks like right now, a blue-white control deck. So it's very odd to see a mill on something like this, but he has his reasons usually. So it is interesting to see what might go on top. I think Schmidt might try to play the Mom to get a threat out with the Scoos. Emil could brainstorm in response. I'm not sure yet. Flood is trying off the top. So Emil would brainstorm in hand. He will bleed the Terminus in his hand back on top, and Terminus again. This is a very controlling deck. I'm not sure how I feel about it because I am not a aggro player, but I do enjoy the deck. It is a very strong deck, very interesting, and it can win. I mean, he hasn't found a piece to lock out just yet. Flooding a little bit in his hand, but he does have, I believe, Predict in his hand, and things of that nature. So I mean, Eric's just running on slow steam right now. Got a second Terminus on top. That's crazy. This is the game Mill wants to go. He wants to draw go games for quite some time. So there's a Volcanic. I think he might have a hard castable Forcible on hand, not positive. But second counterbalance. I want to see Snapcaster Ponder here. Or Brainstorm, I guess. Yeah, he has a lot of lands in hand. A Brainstorm wouldn't be bad if he has a fetch. Supreme, Verdict, Force of Will. I believe that's an Arid Mesa Masterpiece. So, this is a very controlling game, and something a Mill does fairly well, that's for sure. And Eric's got to try. He's going to predict himself, see if he can find a 3-drop. He knows counterbalance, draws 2, 1. Or just draws 1, I guess. I'm not sure. We'll panic off that. There's Wasteland in there right now, but it's not something that he has to be extremely worried about right now. He might try to force a will, pitching the Supreme Verdict, but I'm not sure. Very interesting choices actually here. A lot of people going for standard too. He is going to do the Forcible Supreme Verdict. bring his life down a little bit here, nothing crazy. I think he's going to fetch on turn 4 that volcanic, maybe just have the red source out. If not, he'll go straight for the another basic, yeah. One thing a mill does have is a very pimped out foil deck here. All those unstable lands are foil. Snapcaster's foil, Masterpiece Counterbalance. He likes to pimp things out a little bit. It's pretty good. I do give him that. He has found a threat now with Snapcaster, which is funny. And we will have a Jason. That's enough for Schmidt. He's going to control the top deck, and just that's the end of it. And for those who haven't been following, Chase the Mind Sculptor is now a modern legal card, which is very entertaining to say the least. With that, Pithing Needle has skyrocketed to $4 now. It was a dollar rare, just a basic rare. Now they are $4 or so, if not more, because of Chase. Ooh. Bloodbraid Elf also being unbanned. I like it. I like Bloodbraid Elf. I think Jace is a little slow for the format for Modern. Bloodbraid Elf is a good counter to it. Modern is still usually a turn 4, turn 5 format. We are seeing more Jeskai lists. We are seeing things like that, but not as bad. I apologize for the yawning. Again, late night.
Attention Dragon Ball Super players, ratings for your first round have been posted.
Yeah, but I think with Bloodbraid Elf, we can get some big zoo players coming back. A lot of interesting decks coming back with it. Definitely for sure here. And, yeah. On to game 2, I know Schmidt has a few cards to the sideboard, another Thalia maybe, nothing crazy. The problem we will have here is that we just showed how overwhelming Jeskai, or in this case Blue-White Splashing Red Eyes, Red Elemental Blast, something like that in the sideboard, is in this matchup. The deck's very strong. We have usually Kevin Toolin playing it a lot. And, yeah. So this is a new build I haven't seen yet. Just have to see. I'm not sure what Eric has in his sideboard for this matchup. But I guess something along my Terminus, maybe adding in some Thoughtseize, things like that. One thing I have for Terminus is Warping Whale, and let's face it, that's not very good sometimes.
People start raising their prices
For sure. Alright, that's fine. We have to, no. Alright, it's fine there. We got the rest of the round still going fine. Have about 39 minutes left in round, I believe, for Legacy. Is 39? Yeah, 39 in Legacy. So plenty of time for this matchup to continue on. And the backup matches we do have, it looks like Maverick Retaxes and Black Red Reanimator. It looks like going on to game 2 against Esper Control. Seems like Reanimator did get the game. That's usually how it goes, game 1. And yeah, we'll keep going on it. We do have Burn against Lands. Burn can win that matchup, actually. With Price of Progress is a 4 in the deck. It does take some time, but they can get there. And there is Blood Moon in the sideboard. I know from watching it happen. Very interesting for sure. Ooh. Alright. I hope I don't have to play the Burn player, that's for sure. If we could just fast forward for you guys, I apologize. And yeah, just how it is. So let me know in the comments for whoever's listening right now what you guys think of the matchup, what you would like to see on stream next. We do have a plethora of decks. If you want to back up, we have Burn, Esper Control, Lands, 2 Maverick players, so one's here, one's over there, Death and Taxes, Eldrazi, and Black Red Reanimator as the main decks. I think there might be one more wandering around I'm not quite positive on right now. And yeah, just going from there, nothing crazy.
Again, guys, I can have your attention really quickly. So we have 14 games to 4 rounds heading to top 4. 4 rounds heading to top 4. This round surpasses 130 minutes. And we'll talk about this one best of 3 in an hour.
I don't have all the grades for it, so
What time will be starting momentarily?
Bro, since I have this many cards behind, your field's behind and the other's great.
And we're on to game 2 here. Mill is up by 1. They will fix that eventually, or they won't. We'll see. They have been asked.
Players, welcome to your first round of 4. You have 30 minutes on the clock. You may begin.
Cool. Wow, Dragon Ball Super only has 30 minutes around. Must be a fast game. There we go. Eric did it for us. I appreciate that, Eric. This looks like a reasonable hand for Eric, actually. Nothing too crazy, but we'll have to see. The mill's going to mold down to 6, so that's a good start for Eric for sure. A little biased. I want Eric to win for sure on this one. Always rooting for the underdog. Control's a very oppressive thing sometimes, but it's good in Legacy. It's very strong. Blue is the biggest color. And Mill plays it very well. That is a fact. Mill does play this deck very well. He was on 4-color Leo Volt for a long time, so a little surprising to see him jump off of that. But as he would say, he does go for the Tier 1 deck, let everyone figure things out, and he'll jump to it and play it better. That's kind of just how he is sometimes. Hopefully we'll see him joining us for GP Seattle and possibly another one. The other one in September. I'm trying to remember where it's at. And yeah, hopefully we'll see him going well. He did do the draft and did do Legacy. He made it to Day 2 Legacy last time and had to drop out and join the draft, which wasn't too bad. Opening hand looks very controlling. Probably has a basic land on top. Nothing bad. Green Sun for a Dried Arbor, nothing terrible on Eric's side. It's actually very strong, getting a little bit of land search ahead. Could be a beater, could be the Sorcerer, we're not sure. Does get shuffled in. I like Green Sun Zenith. I think that can see some play back in Modern. Not sure if it'll bring Elves a little too strong, but I definitely like it. In the middle, I think a calculated risk here with the top deck Photostram, the only card in hand Plains. For mana, at least. That's a little risky with so many blue cards, and he does have Force to have a sword in hand, so it does give him some turns to some outs. But a little surprising there for sure. And if he doesn't find a fetch land here, he will be locked for a few turns. He does have the Ponder, so he's going to Ponder now, try to get not locked for sure. So we're going to see Ponder, Explosives, and a third card. I'm not sure what the third card is. I did see the Explosives. He's good at hiding things. He does like to see them, so we are going to see the Ponder back to hand. Let's see here. Eric can play out a land, play the Wasteland out, just have a Thalia on the field and start beating for 1. It's a start, which I think he's going to try for here. An issue with this matchup is that he does have Force of Will, Dazes, things like that, so you do want to attack afterwards if the Dazes are there. I'm not quite positive. It could be a heavier control build. Thalia happens, swing for 1. Oh, he's going to think about the swing for 1 here. So we are going to see a Force of Will. Pitching. What did he pitch here? Brainstorm. Okay, so he does have another Ponder in hand. He's not too worried about the top of his deck. Swing for 1. Force of Will. Yeah, that sounds about right. See a Ponder before the land drop just to be safe. Very smart of Mills in there. We're going to see Ponder, Volcanic, Terminus? Hard to tell on that one, I do apologize. Wish I could just tilt my head and kind of see it, but it's a little harder there. He's going to keep it on top, he's going to draw. Eric let him take it back there for a second. There's his top. Draw his card. Probably play out the Plains over the Volcanic. Yeah. So I'm not sure what the third card is. I really do. I wish I could tell you. I'm just not sure. So this is a cute little interaction that Mazavith has with this deck. We see it very rarely, very seldomly for sure. And Mill does have the Terminus off the top. The Mazavith Knight is a good play. You get to attack at the end of combat after damage has been dealt. You bring it back because it just says in attacking. It has attacked. It's still tapped in the combat phase. And yeah, it's not too bad. Please kick Lazali. This is definitely a threat after Mill has put the Terminus away. There's a Swords in hand, so it might not stay for too long, depending on how long he allows it here. We're going to see Counterbalance, Chase. We're going to probably see a Shuffle here, yeah. He wants to see another land. He's stuck on 2 for now. Eric is getting low on threats is the problem. Mill is using a lot of cards to throw him off of this game. It just takes time. Control takes time for this matchup, and Eric, I guess like in the chat said, mid-range is hard for this. We are going to see a Predict. He can't cast for now. He's going to have Swords up, though, which is nice. Take the 3. So we do have Mother Rooms now. Eric's going to gain 2. Next turn, he does have a very strong card with Sanctum Prelate. I think naming 4 would be the best choice for Sanctum Prelate in this matchup. We'll have to see if he can find another land for it, though. Predict. He's going to try to name the top card of his deck. We're going to see if he does. Sometimes they can get really good at this. I've seen Kevin Tool and Blind Flip brainstorms all that a lot of times. You're going to say Scalding Tarn. If Terminus goes down, he will draw 1 card instead of 2. It does happen. That's good news for Eric. Getting the Terminus out the way. We're going to see what Green Sun for 1. Probably find Deathrite Shaman. Yeah, finds Deathrite Shaman. Leave Mother of Runes up for the funds. He did find a Tundra here. This is nice for him. Unless Eric can find Jumping Wastelands. Now, this is an EE for 1. And this is something Eric can't really be prepared for and fight around all the time. Just have to accept it. Jace is a turn away, which is a shame there, but Eric did find that. If we can get it on 4 here, see what number we get. I think 4 is the best number for Supreme Lord. You did see it. I'll have to ask 1 second. Hey Eric, what number is it on? Got it. So 1's also a very strong number. A little harder to see on there. I apologize. Dull dice. And yeah, let's go from there. I do like Prelate coming in. It's a 2-power body, nothing crazy. We are going to see Teague is very strong here. I like Teague a lot. This can put a mill out by a lot. Non-creature spell higher than 4, X spells, and yeah. I'm technically still live. Take your time. So, unless a mill can find Snapcaster Swords or another Swords off the top, turns off a lot of cards in the deck here. Well, you know, when you have it all, you have it all. I can't fight that. He's going to Predict, which is very interesting. I thought he might maybe Swords the Teague to get out the Chase the following turn, but I guess that didn't happen. He does know what the top card of Mill in his deck. He's going to Ponder. So Mill looking for something like a Terminus effect instead, I guess, here. Very interesting to see. He had a chance to get rid of the Teague and he didn't, so. Yeah. Make sure the volume's up. So, we are on game 2.
Where's the volume? Is it up? Yeah, it's up. I think it's up. Yeah.
All right.
Game 2. Okay.
We're on game 2. Schmidt lost game 1. Emil terminus him out of the game. Played a
Oof.
Jace. Had some fun. Emil snapcastered here, so I'm assuming he has a swords in hand.
Sort of fire and ice.
That's Light and Shadow.
Light and Shadow.
So I'm assuming Emil has a swords of plowshare. I'm a little worried about that. He had a chance to snap swords Goddic T because his hand does have Entreat and Jace in it.
Oof. Okay.
I'm a little curious as to why he didn't. He might have been trying to find something else.
Maybe try to answer the gap. Oh, he can't with Gaddock T on the field. He can't entreat.
He can't, correct.
Yeah.
So that's why I was thinking he'd snapcaster swords.
Oh, okay. Yeah, to try to get rid of Gaddock T. And
Yeah.
maybe he just doesn't care about Gaddock T right now.
I mean, it stops a lot of his win cons. Stops the Terminus, stops Supreme Verdict, stops Jace,
Yeah,
stops
that's true. It does.
Entreat.
It does. Yeah.
A lot of cards in there that does. He's equipping now to fight around Swords of Plowshare. Snapcaster can chump.
Okay.
And,
So
yeah.
he doesn't get the trigger if it.
No, he does not.
He has to do
He has
damage
to
to
do
the
damage to
player.
a player,
Gotcha.
yes. So now he did draw Swords of Plowshare now. Or is that Mentor? That's Mentor. Is Mentor legendary?
No, Mentor's
Oh,
not
that'd be a
legendary.
busted commander, wouldn't it?
Yeah. All right, looks like he's gonna throw a Mentor
He's
down.
going to throw Mentor down.
Yeah.
It's not a bad play.
Maybe
to have.
brainstorm swords up. Yeah, so he can at least get some value off Mentor.
He can get some value off Mentor.
He
chump
might just chump block.
He can't chump.
He can't because it's got protection from
White and black.
White and black.
So we're going to see a swing here. We're going to see if he has any spells to do. 3, 4.
Hang on, I can just look at this. I can just look at this screen.
I know, that's great. I like the second screen a lot.
I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah, it's fine, yeah,
I'm
because
gonna-
it does give us all this.
Yeah,
It makes it nice.
I'm gonna look at this so we're not like
Um,
staring at this tiny little screen together.
Right. Now, he does have, I believe he just drew Ramanap Excavator,
Which is
the one that brings lands back.
pretty good. Pretty good against. Oh, I mean, yeah, he's got.
Start popping the double. And Mills,
It's
Mills
not-
been hurting a little bit for lands.
It's not really fantastic
Oh, he's going to
here.
get Sanctum Prelate back, actually. So, because when Sword of Light and Shadow attacks, you gain 3 life, get a creature back from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Grab Sanctum Prelate. And what is he gonna name? What
He
cost?
did have it on 1 before.
Probably 4.
I like 4.
I like 4. Yeah, for Jace.
But with Teague out, you don't have to worry as much.
Yeah.
With Caracas up and Teague out, bounce the Teague, he is legendary.
Oh, he's tapping it.
He has to for the prelate. So
He's got to.
if you put it on 1 here, I think
No,
he's
he
gonna
could
get
he
back
could
on
have
1.
tapped the Mesa Earth.
No, he cannot.
What is this?
Mesa does not produce mana.
Oh, why am I thinking they produces mana? Oh, okay.
When they have Urborg out,
Yep. And almost every time I play against lands, I always have
because you're playing the dark depth,
the
Turbo
dark
depth.
depths
Yeah.
combo.
So
So
this
now we're
is
going to
Eric
game 3.
they were going to game 3. Eric did pull this one out. This was very nice to see.
So Emil's on Jeskai control.
He's on Jeskai control.
Interesting, okay.
He's always on 4-color Leovold. I talked about that.
Yeah.
Emil's quota for the life, not quote, but he likes to go. I'll wait for somebody else to do it better. Let them be my little lab rats,
Yeah.
and then I'll play it and be better than them.
There you go. There you go.
It's not a bad concept. Some people
Yeah.
will call it net decking.
Well,
I think it's a good strategy because you let people work out the kinks that you're
For
trying
sure,
to figure
for
out.
sure. Well, for me, you know that I'm always I like to brew and make my own deck. So
Same. I say that, but my Eldrazi list is
Yeah.
only like 2 cards off from
off of the stock list.
off the stock
Well,
list. of
I'm playing
top
some.
2
I'm
league.
playing some spicy brew here. So I'm hoping I can get on stream.
It would be nice. Hopefully, if we can get you next round, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I can.
It should be fine. I mean,
I'm hoping I can pull out a win. If I win to go 3-1 after the draw, I think I'll be okay.
Oh, it's what sucks is I'm 2-1 right now. If I went out, my breakers are really bad, so I could still win
But
out.
if I win,
if
it
you win,
makes your breakers
then
much better.
yeah, for sure.
I had to get paired down against Candom for the lands matchup.
And you
which-
lost too. Oof.
It's the hardest
Yeah,
matchup.
Yeah, that's rough.
But with the bye, it doesn't hurt you at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're going from there. If I win,
And,
it
then,
makes the bye better.
and my other opponent that was on Reanimator. Well, I can just tell the stream. I'm on Esper control.
Yeah, I
so,
told everyone. I told the
yeah.
decks on the list. I didn't tell who was on who.
Yeah. Yeah, it's if anybody knows me, that's my guild. That's what I play.
You got
so.
the tattoo for it. We'll take a
Yeah,
picture later.
yeah.
And take a picture. We'll put a picture on Facebook or something. Of the
I have
tattoo.
Jace and Esper guild on my leg, so I feel like that I should represent.
At some point, I'll put something on my leg for
Yeah.
that probably because I got the Gundam on the right leg, and we'll think of something on the back probably.
Yeah.
'Cause I do have to get a little bit of a family heritage tattoo still.
Oh, is this the chat here?
That is the chat, yeah.
Okay. Oh, what card is that? Is that,
That is the
counterbalance?
counterbalance. Yeah, that's Emil played it. And I had to make sure because everyone TCG was cool about it when Top got banned. TCG players said everyone who has the Masterpiece counterbalance pre-ordered, we can accept you taking your order back.
Oh, really? Because
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
They were really cool about it because Top getting banned means counterbalance is useless.
Is pretty
Which
much.
it-
It's not useless, but it's just not very good.
Everyone thought the deck would die.
Yeah. Which is we're seeing with Emil and
Kevin.
and with me we've run Esper. It's not awful.
Oh, no,
Kevin
no.
Kevin Tulin plays Topless Miracles as well. So
He does, and it's very strong, and
a good
there's
deck.
definitely a lot of plays to it. I do like Schmidt. I think Schmidt has a second Teague in the board, so I think he brought that in to see it.
I mean, this is like it's weird, you know. As myself as a control player, the creature matchup always feels like it should be really in your favor, but a lot of times too, they can just put super pressure on you early, and it's really hard for you to,
Yeah,
you know, especially if you have
absolutely.
resilient threats too.
Right, like if say we're playing, I have a Mimic turn 1, turn
Yeah.
2, it's a Thought Knot, or maybe
Yeah.
a Matter Chipper.
Yeah.
We're already hitting in for 3-4 damage turn
Yeah.
2. It's like, oh, this is
Yeah.
not how we want this
Yeah.
game to go.
Yeah,
I actually
so-
got to pick up a third Cavern.
So Emil's in the play here, so I think it's a little bit better for him. He can Suprema turn earlier. He can. I'm not sure if he's running Anger of the Gods. I feel like Anger would be good.
He's
but I
not
don't-
running Anger. I believe the red splash is there for probably Red Elemental Blast on the
Probably.
sideboard.
Well, I think the Pyroblast is the better one, though, right? Isn't that the one that because you can cast?
Yeah,
There's-
so it's probably Pyroblast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mill keeps it looks like a
I don't remember
200.
exactly why, but I know that Pyroblast is supposed
So
to.
Pyroblast can target a non-blue permanent just to get it out of the hand. So you have a
Gotcha.
Mentor out, you have a Young
But-
Pyro,
but
you just
Red-
shoot it. But Red Blast, you have to target.
Gotcha. And now, what is that? Is this because of the wording on the card?
Yes,
or?
this is how it's worded. It's one paragraph versus 2.
Okay.
So it sort of allows
Gotcha.
you to get
Fair
things
enough.
out. Sort of
All right,
like
I'm gonna just go a little closer or something.
sort of like how Tide Hollow Sculler and Banishing Priest are different.
Gotcha.
Or
Well, but they should
Fiend
still
Hunter, not
Fiend
Banishing
Hunter,
Priest. Yeah,
but they
yeah.
still work the same though with the Eldrazi taxes here.
That is
so
correct.
he did he portent Schmidt or did he portent himself?
he boarded himself. He looked at the top 3.
Fair
draw a
enough.
card.
So,
off.
basically ponder,
Right.
but
Does Portent draw or is it predict that draws? Predict draws.
predict draws. No, portent still draws. Portent, but it draws
It
draws on the
Right.
the next end step or
We
next
are going to
upkeep
see
or
a Thought
something.
Seize real early here. We're going to see, is that double Terminus in there?
Looks like Terminus unexpectedly absent.
What are
Ghost.
those two look like the two same cards.
That looks like Ghost Quarter. That's not. That's
That's
a
not
white
Ghost
card.
Quarter.
What the hell is that?
Is it Path?
It might be Path.
Looks
to
like
Exile.
Path to Exile to me. Eric does run 2 basics, a force.
I can't really tell what that card is. I
We'll
know
see. He's
it's
gonna take-
unexpected Terminus. I can't see what the other 2 cards are though.
We'll have to see it later. I mean, Brainstorm is the thing to do to lock him out a little bit. You do have an Arid Mesa, so he would have been able to get rid of the Terminus just with the Brainstorm. I think that's a very strong play.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
I don't think they're counterspells. Do you Wasteland the Tundra here? Do you just set yourself back a turn and Wasteland?
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Yeah, Wasteland of Tundra.
Okay.
I agree. You want to keep the control deck off the lands as
Moving
long
main
as you
phase,
can.
Smother
Kind of
Runes,
jam
yeah.
a mom. Snout.
There's a Null Rod.
Matt, what's it called?
That's interesting tech.
Who's got a null rod?
Mamel, he drew Null Rod.
What?
Stoneforge is still a package in the deck, but I don't know if that's
That
what you want to
feels
bring
that feels raw. That
Maybe
feels-
it's better than what he had.
Probably it could have been something, but it's just
There's no
interesting
top
that he
in
would
his
run that
build.
in the sideboard though. Like I wonder for what is he worried about?
There are some heavier artifact decks out there. Mud is still a deck. He might have seen it in some meta down here somewhere.
Maybe
we
he
don't
just
come to
expected
Kendall
it.
very often.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
It is a Null Rod, yeah. I need to pick up 3 still, so we're going to see
So
Null
he's
Rod.
playing null rod. Okay, interesting. All right.
I'm not sure what else that hits besides Stoneforge, which it is a package. It is
I
something
mean,
you
it
wanna
stops
see.
Stoneforge. I don't know what else it really stops though. In
Force,
his
we're going
deck.
to see a Green Sun for 1 here. Now,
Except
the
for
issue
one,
is,
grab a Deathray probably.
yeah, he's going to grab Deathray. The issue is we have seen Engineered Explosives.
Yep.
So this makes this a very hard play.
Yeah, this. Yeah, but he saw his hand though, so I mean, he's
knows
playing
he's
playing
not
around the
there
fact
right
that he
now.
might not have it.
Now, Mill does like Tool and run a heavy amount of basics here.
Yeah.
So-
Which is typical for your control deck. You usually want to run basics. You don't want to get blown out by Blood Moon or Choke or.
Exactly, yeah. Choke. I wonder if he has Choke in the sideboard for Schmidt.
I think he does have Choking because I played him on Friday. Unless he made any changes to his sideboard, he
To
does
land, we are
he
gonna
does have Choke.
Free late come out. Now, I don't know if he's going to put it on 1 now.
What is he?
6.
He's putting on
For
6.
Terminus.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So when you do find a Brainstorm, you do find a Jace, it is very strong.
Gotcha.
You brainstorm back,
so
Jace
you have
it
to
back.
so you have to find the Jace to bounce a.
Yes.
Now I wonder if there's a case to be made to put it on 4 just so he can't even Jace, because he's really far off of being on 4 land or 6 lands. I mean, I wonder if there's a case because his out now is still going to be Jace and Terminus.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
if he miracles, I see. That's
Even
what.
if you miracle, it doesn't happen. It's still a 6-drop. You just pay the 1. So
That's why.
it's-
That makes more sense.
It's
No,
still
that
there.
makes sense. That makes
So
sense.
if he would draw a Brainstorm, things like that, even if it's Jace on 4, Brainstorm and
Gotcha.
Ponder.
No. That's
still
fair. That's
very
fair.
strong
No.
cards.
That's. I forgot that it's still the actual casting cost of the
We
card.
might
Not
see fetch for a Knight here. He has Green Suns in hand.
Knight
Either land off
seems.
that side, get Knight on the field.
Knight seems pretty gross right now.
I believe he has 3 lands. in this- in the
Able
graveyard.
to protect it with Mom.
Or do you Godic Teague here? Do you Green Suns for Godic Teague? This helps a lot.
I don't know. I don't know if Gaddock Teague really. I mean, it does put him now. But I mean, he already can't cast Terminus. Okay, there's the unexpected
So Mill's
asset.
responding to the fetch. He's going to give Pro White in response. That's reasonable. Yeah. Mill, what are you doing, buddy?
Okay, so the fetch is gonna resolve.
He's gonna fetch you. Him and Mill both fetch here. Pushing up for a basic.
So what is he gonna do? He's gonna.
You got a green sun for 0? Oh, Mother of Runes. So second
Another
mom.
second mom.
So
Interesting.
it's not a bad play to do. When
So
you know
he
Terminus
just
is off.
see, but that just makes you really susceptible to engineered explosives. So
Or Supreme Verdict.
or yeah, verdict feels
Verdict is the
really.
main of a mill.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that feels really gross. Yeah, if he verdicts here, that's just like a complete
I
blowout for
believe it's a
Schmidt.
1 of, though, is the hard part.
And he's got no way. There's no ways to really to fetch it
We're
out.
going to see Death Right eat. Net some 2 here. We could see Schmidt pull back from this. No Rod's a good card, I'll admit that.
This is game 3. So
This is
yeah,
hard.
Yeah, this is. I
I
mean,
believe he drew Ramanap Excavator.
he's looking good here. I mean, but he's really got a.
It's still a tightrope. It's still much of a tightrope here.
Okay,
We're going to
so-
see Ramanap Excavator, I think, here.
No
Or
sword of fire and ice.
Yeah, Fire and Ice.
Okay,
And
but he
he'll
can't.
Land. He's going to equip to the... He can't.
He can't attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. That was a. I
So
think
he still did. He still did.
I think that was a.
He
I
can't equip. It's impossible to equip.
Yeah, I think that was a misplay on Schmidt's part there.
It was.
think
It's still okay to have that. I think he does run Kozali in the main board. 2 of Kozali Pride Mage, I believe. or
He does.
one of.
He
Yeah.
does.
Mill drawing Sculling Tarn. Mill's hand, I believe 4 cards, 2 being Terminus, 1 being Force of Will. He's gonna eat the. Yeah, this is an incremental plan that
Oh,
Schmidt might have to
that's
do.
right. That's right. Doing work, man. That's
Do you miss- do you
one
miss
mana
him?
planeswalker.
Do you miss him?
Huh?
Do you miss him a little bit today?
A little bit. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, the thing I really like about the deck I'm playing now is that there's really no matchups that feel unwinnable.
Right.
Like with Bug Delver, it's just there's some matchups you go up against. You're like, well, I'm just gonna lose this
This
game.
is it, right?
Yeah, this
I
is
mean,
it.
I
Like,
have to.
can't-
I have to accept that fact.
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
We are going to see Schmidt to a Thoughtseize here. Triple Terminus, Force Will. I guess you just take the Force Will since
Yeah.
Thoughtseize is effectively dead.
Yeah.
Still
The
leaving
Termin-
Deathrite Shaman up. This could be the win here. This is very close.
Yeah. This is. Yeah. He's got the double mod to protect everything.
That's the only guy who can go in.
All right. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
Because this deck is complete.
Attention standard.
Why is he looking at the top card of his
Standard
deck?
routes have been posted.
Why is he looking? He has to draw it.
Okay.
That's weird. There's no effect for him to just look at that card, right?
I don't think so. He's still got Terminus in hand.
It's another Flooded Strand. So he was probably thinking end of turn if he should have fetched. He saw that. He probably a little upset about it.
I mean, there's not really much you can do about that, though.
I mean, combat out, you win, right?
I think Schmidt just wins here.
Deathrite Shaman, eat, swing for 4. He knows his hand.
Swing 4. He goes to 4.
Just for 2. Saying to it's not that good. It's a 2.
I'm sorry. I meant to. I said swing for 4. I meant to say swing for 2. Go to 4. I said
I got
swing
you,
for
yeah.
4. Go to 4.
He's playing the safe route. He's playing the safe
Yeah.
route out of this.
Brainstorm.
Yep.
Yep.
But Terminus still can be cast.
So what
against
what does he find?
Terminus.
And
Predict.
Predict. Yeah.
So
I think.
Predict can find him something if he
I
knows
think-
what he's putting on top.
I guess he could just put 1. I mean, he could probably maybe no, because if he fetches,
He has the full Monty of Terminus in hand right now.
he's got all 3.
All 4.
All 4.
I believe it's
Jesus
all 4.
Christ. He plays. The deck plays 4 Terminus.
His might. I saw
That's-
at least 3, which is
4 Terminus
to
and,
find all
and
3
Supreme,
is still ridiculous.
and Supreme Verdict. That seems like that's overkill, man.
It might be, but with a deck
I
that's-
definitely saw the Supreme Verdict at the bottom there. So he's
So
definitely.
there's
it's-
at least a Supreme Bird at the bottom, so there might be 4.
that seems like that's just.
Let's go to 3.
What concessions do you have to make to run 4 Terminus main board? Like you got to cut something else.
He
Like,
only
you
has
cutting-
Snapcasters as his creatures. And Mentor. He has like 2 of 3 of
Yeah,
Mentor.
but that's a typical Miracles list though.
It is, but maybe he wants to go heavier on the Jace plan.
I don't know. man.
Control out harder.
Predict.
Predict.
What's he gonna name
Name
here?
himself probably. I want to say he's probably gonna name. I don't know if he'd name Terminus or not, but we're gonna have to find out for
No,
sure.
he's choosing. Who did he choose? Choose himself. What did he name? Volcanic. I doubt he named that.
He just
No,
drew 1,
Just
yeah.
drew 1.
It's a Sword Splasher. Yep.
Oh, you got it. Okay, Schmidt got it.
Schmidt went around that. That was a very so Mill did draw poorly. Drew
Yeah.
triple Terminus.
Triple Terminus with the
The
Sanctum
Sanctum
Prelude
Prelude
on
on
6. Yeah.
Very
Feels-
hard.
Feels
So
pretty
Supreme,
bad.
yeah, he's looking at the very bottom. Supreme Verdict.
Yeah.
So that was the
Yeah,
out.
yeah, there it is. He's showing the Supreme Verdict right
That
there.
was the out to go
That's
to
what he
1
was
life.
looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy. So he'd bring in the choke. He brought in Sylvan Library and then extra Kozali. So that's what I expect him to bring in. Very close.
Well, I think he's already got 2 swallows. So it's
No,
the third.
one main. I believe they have one main.
Only 1 main. Okay,
Yeah,
I
one
thought they
main,
ran
second
2.
on the board. That's usually how it goes. He might have a Council's Judgment on the sideboard he might have brought in, but I don't know. Sometimes they run
Council Judgment
councils.
seems good.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I can't.
So the double Thoughtseize, yeah.
I can't imagine. Maverick has a very easy time answering Trinity missiles. I can't imagine.
It's hard, yeah. God, I might have to play a mill. We both might have to play a mill now.
Well, this is the last round, so I'm
We
kind
got
of.
one more round.
Huh?
We got one more round.
Yeah, I'm saying this next round is the last round.
So
I kind of hope.
I don't want to play.
I don't want to play against Emil either.
Fair. So yeah, guys, we'll be right back. Thank you, and yeah,
All right, guys.
that was a good game. Went a
Later,
lot
later.
longer than I thought.
How many viewers we got right now?
us now, and we're on the mainstream here. Okay, let's change some names. So where you were, type in Brandon.
Oh my god.
Brandon.
It's just like weird without like being able to like
Gotcha.
see.
Yeah. Esper. This is just type 4. Against who's he against? James. Maverick. Cool. And there's the change. All right, guys, we are back here for a little bit. I'm gonna sneak into that camera view just a hair. There we go. Now we're good now.
Gotta get the family all in here.
Yeah, right. So,
So I played this matchup on Friday from the Maverick
Did you?
side. Yeah.
How is it Esper versus Maverick?
I think Brandon's deck's actually reasonably well set up against Maverick because he has some kind of like high impact cards, like main board.
Okay.
Liliana, the Last Hope,
Yeah.
a couple sweepers.
All right.
Lingering Souls. Baleful Strix is annoying no matter what creature you're playing, other than Thalia.
Yeah, that's true. So there's a lot of outs now, because all he does get rid of Baleful Strix, which is cute. You don't want to usually trade a 2/3 with Exalted
Yeah.
for that, but you might have to.
Yeah, I mean, he also like has access to like 4 basic lands, which helps a lot.
It does help a lot, actually.
he's
It
not
seems
going
like
to-
the Maverick players, you guys
Like
have
his
been fighting
mana
a lot of that.
could like end up not working out if he draws like the wrong mix of
It's
basics
cleaner,
early.
though. It's cleaner, quote unquote.
But it's not going to be like a 4-color control situation where like he could just get utterly wastelanded off a color.
Right.
Like
Makes
Brandon
sense.
will always be able to like eventually cast some of his spells.
Correct, yes. Except for when I had to fight him and he drew a Supreme Verdict. That poor soul. So, that seems like an okay hand. You get an Opening Thought Siege, you have a Ponder, you have Gideon Ally of Zendikar.
And is
And a
adequate
Baleful.
with a capital A.
And he has shown James his Thoughtseize. James is
Yeah.
going to 6. Usually when James has to play games that really matter,
Yeah.
his deck does not cooperate.
I can't actually recall a situation where I've seen James win winning in on stream.
That's true. You know what's funny too? We get to draw now. If Emil forces us to play it out, we get to play.
Yeah,
in the
you'll
top.
probably just like crush me.
I don't think so. We had some tough
I think
games.
the Maverick Eldrazi matchup felt horrible in all the games I played against you.
I mean, you also had Mother Rune's opening hand. If you don't have Mother Rune's opening hand, it must feel much better.
I just don't have a very good sideboard for the matchup either.
It's not a deck you see. Eldrazi has fallen off tempo.
Yeah, I mean, there's like sort of like broad cards you can have.
That's a good opening hand. I think turn 1, you have Mother of Runes, you have an extra land, you have a Green Sun.
This seems thoroughly fine.
That seems absolutely reasonable. There's a Verdant there too. Keep card on top. That's super fine.
It's
He is
not-
going to Thoughtseize him, so we are going to see triple. We're going
It's
to
gonna
see.
get worse.
That's a good opener. I think
You
it's a
might-
very fine 6.
I don't think.
And James is cool. James is good enough. He usually lets cards stay open.
So that's a Expedition Wasteland.
It is. James has pimped out this deck just like Emil has. They are the crew I've hung out with, so most of my friends I've watched pimp out decks. Not the Mother of Runes, huh?
I'm not sure.
He is a creature. He's not a creature deck,
I'm
so
not sure how I feel about that.
makes it hard. Are we going to
I
see
mean,
Mother?
it's like ugly to have your mana restricted like that, but
Right.
at the same time,
Now, do you
also-
think a Wasteland opening would have been fine for that? But he doesn't know. There's only 2 more lands in hand, but
I mean, you
second Thoughtseize in the main. Jesus. I didn't know there were.
Well,
I didn't,
I know.
he never saw him against me, so I didn't know there were Thoughtseizes in the main here.
I mean, they wouldn't be very good against you in general.
Right.
Sort
So
of
he's
because you
going to
empty
take.
your
It looks like
hand.
he's going to take. Do you take Knight or Stoneforge
I
now?
think you take the Stoneforge because the Stoneforge actually
Yeah,
draws
it's
a
just
card.
yeah. You're going to see a Ponder here.
I
Supreme
feel like
Verdict, Swords,
Brandon's-
Force. Yeah,
Brandon
this-
feels heavily favored from this position, honestly.
yeah, absolutely. In this position, James Mulling, double Thoughtseize. This seems like what you want to happen. Now, is James, because you see all this happening, do you just take a turn to tempo off Wasteland? I don't know. That's why I'm trying to figure it out here. I played Maverick for all of like 10 minutes, which it's a great deck. Don't get me wrong.
Then the other one, it's like literally just like.
I mean,
Give me random mouse packs. I get the best card.
Do you want to get closer to Knight? What do you want to do here?
I think you want to get closer than
You're going to see a Death Right.
I might have wasted it there.
I think I would have, huh?
If I had
If
like
you
the best,
could play the
if I had the
Death
best
Right,
one drop
yeah.
ever printed, I might have.
Good Planeswalker. The only thing different from you see Maverick. The only thing different we see from Legacy and Modern now is lands and Deathrite Shaman for Jund. So now that they got their Bloodbraid Elves back, I don't.
If Brandon's
Now
smart here,
I think you take a turn to Wasteland here. Yeah,
I don't know. Like, so he doesn't know the contents.
he doesn't know the content of that. That's
of
correct.
Brandon's hand or deck. The
He
way
would
that
have
I
to fetch,
do.
eat his
'cause-
own land, keep Knighted as a 2/2.
But like,
Now there
the
is
things
force in
you
one
the
hand,
things
though.
you desperately care about from the Maverick side in this stage is like Wraths and like the Gideon
Yeah.
is also in his hand.
So I think he's going to lead with Knight, and then maybe Wasteland from there. Knowing you get Force of Will X blue card, which will be Supreme Verdict in this case,
So
is
I
good.
mean, there's like basically
Oh, he
two
tapped
ways
the-
to
he tapped the
wasteland people,
Wasteland.
right? It's like you're trying to wasteland them off lands in general or off a color.
Right. Now he did
And
tap Wasteland for this, so it's.
I don't.
Oh yeah. We're drawing.
003.
I don't have a pen on.
I don't either.
We'll bring it up later. No big
Yeah.
deal.
So, yeah,
By the way,
you're either
we are
trying
the
to-
top seed match. Thank you,
No,
sir.
we're,
It's just
we're
003.
we're very important people.
We are.
We've
We are.
done it.
I mean, you're an important person. I'm at the very bottom. I'm the slums. But
I feel like I got pretty fortunate to win some of the matchups I did.
you did do really well against Control, which is nice to see.
Yeah.
I'm always rooting for the underdog against Control, so it's just me.
Yeah.
So Brandon didn't draw another land. It's a little rough for him here.
This would be a sign of weakness and could be a, you know.
I would personally. I mean, he does have fetch up for swords, tireless track.
Ah.
With Knight out, this is very strong.
Oh, this is.
I would actually bring Knight out for Wasteland right now, but that's just me. I think Brandon doesn't switch draws, finds the other land, so this is where
Oh,
Spring Critic gets
this
huge.
is gonna be rough. Oh no. Okay, no, it's actually fine because
He needs double white.
he needs double white.
I forgot. Yep.
Yeah.
Why is he fetching? Oh, he's gonna get.
If he
No,
gets-
Gideon takes double white too.
He wants basic. Oh, I don't know.
He doesn't have it. Yep. He's realizing right now.
He's got like the swords, which helps him play a little bit. of
Swords
magic
helps with the
here.
Knight for sure. He's realizing he needs another white source. So this is a less greedy mana base than any others. Like you said, though, which is just how he's drawn it up.
I think he was supposed to try to fetch a basic there.
I think Brandon's pretty earnest with what he does. Once he does something, he doesn't like taking it
Yeah.
back. He's very good about that, and I do respect him for that. It is hard sometimes.
I just would have fetched basics in general. With
I
an
think
onboard
now that you've
wasteland.
seen this happen, it's fine. I think now that he's seen this happen, he's gonna Knight for a Wasteland and Wasteland again.
What's interesting is he actually could have made. James could have just like fizzled the Thoughtseize by abrupt decaying the Baleful Strix by cracking.
That's true, huh?
And he could have done that. He was going to do this anyway. Yeah.
James is doing the plan. I think he will Wasteland the white source, though. I want to see James Wasteland the white source. The Baleful Strix is tapped. Brandon's checking his sideboard now.
He's not feeling good about it.
Do you eat Death right here? Eat a Thoughtseize?
Yeah.
Get the life a little bit lower.
He drew all the Thoughtseizes.
He drew 3. I didn't know there were 3 in the main board. He didn't draw them against me.
Yeah.
Usually on a multi-6
No, I mean,
double Thoughtseize is very strong.
Yeah. It's pretty much just going to boil down to if he can draw like a white source.
Yeah.
But I mean, he needs double white source now. I think he's.
And we gotta hope that he doesn't. What Shane's doing? Oh, clue token, right? I gave him that clue token. There's a foil on the other side. We just like the full arts better. Tireless trackers.
Now he even has the capability.
We get the blues clues.
He even has the capability of beating a Wrath now that he's got this
Can he
hard
win here
draw
if he
engine
double
going.
cracks? How big's Knight? Double crack, clue.
Double crack gets him to.
There's 3 lands in yard. No, 4, because there's Verdant, Windswept, Bayou, and Windswept.
Yeah.
So 4, Knight's at 6.
I think he might be dead.
Crack a clue for 4. It's 10, 11, 12. Yeah, he has lethal on board.
He could, yeah.
He has to crack a clue and then eat with Deathright. No. I guess. Oh, trying to find another land. Yep, that's fine.
Oh, it doesn't want to meet with Death, right?
Doesn't let me eat with Deathright. He could Wasteland though, but why not attack with Knight? I mean, he knows he has sword, I guess, so that's not.
But he has an active mom. He's an active mom.
Yeah, he has an active mom for it. I think I would have got in for more, but I guess he wants the Knight plan up a little higher.
Yeah.
Wasteland the Tundra in
I
return.
don't think it's going to end up mattering because I don't think there's.
This is hard, yeah. The fact that James did Wasteland is good.
I mean, the thing is, we're operating with perfect information.
Right,
here.
we
They-
are.
they
James
don't-
doesn't know everything.
They don't
He
know
doesn't-
the
but
exact
he did see
contents
that
of
Brandon
everything
did.
they're worried about here.
He did see that Brandon stuttered a little bit for the double white source there.
Well,
Because he fetched, he looked at his hand and said, shit. He's going to try the swords in response. Mom gives pro.
well, you don't necessarily like expect like main board sweepers out of like legacy decks in general outside of
Right.
miracles. So And when all your deck does is play like dudes,
Yeah.
there's-
Now, Brandon does run Toxic Deluge. I don't know if it's in the main or not.
it is.
It is in the main,
I-
so he's not dead here. He could Deluge and just wipe the
Well,
field.
the issue with
His knight's
deluging,
huge.
the issue with deluging is I think he might be able to grow the knight out of the range of 7.
He's going to force the second bomb, yeah. So Deluging is hard. How big is Knight right now? Knight's at 5. He'd have to go to 1. It's not easy.
Knight is also active, so he can go get a wasteland, and wasteland himself
Yeah.
deluge through it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm actually really happy James got those tireless trackers. We were waiting for them to rotate at a standard to get the foils
Oof.
because they were like $20-something
Yeah.
in standard foil. Now they're like 6. Felt so good. I'll be right back with our match slip.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm very fortunate to get a draw against this generous man here. All right, so what do you think? Well, I don't know his sideboard off the top of my head. We did see some of it. Do we see Surgical come in?
I wouldn't. I hate bringing in Surgical and Maverick, even if you don't like the feeling of getting like wastelanded a bunch.
But
of,
because
like,
he's fought against, because we've played against each other, he knows Ramaneth Excavator's there.
I would be tempted to bring in Containment.
He has double ensnaring bridge, which is nice. Collective Brutality, strong.
Collective Brutality just kills a guy. That's fine.
Kills a guy, takes a sword, kicks in Abrupt Decay. There are cards it takes. Oh, he's bringing.
Really?
Well, James, you can't hide that
Really?
card very well now, can you?
Really? James is bringing in.
So Brandon does have Karaku in the sideboard.
Loam? Jeez, that's a sweet one.
Yeah, he has the Loam sideboard package
It's a
for the constant. Yeah.
Swords.
Double Zealous. Is Zealous good enough?
So he wouldn't have known that Zealous is good against Brandon, but Zealous is pretty good.
It gets the Creeping Tar Pit.
He was playing Lingering Souls. and
Lingering
Baleful
Souls,
Strix
Creeping
and
Tar Pit, and
Snapcaster
Death.
Mage.
That's really strong.
It kills basically everything in this deck other than
Kills
Jace.
every creature he has, including his unblockable land.
Though realistically, you aren't going to lose to a Creeping Tar Pit with
You'd be
Maverick.
surprised. You'd be surprised.
I mean,
Unblockable. You don't have a sword. It can get Abrupt Decay.
you
I
have
guess.
Wasteland.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
Wasteland.
Now, have you ever thought about running a Ghost Quarter in this deck?
I ran Ghost Quarter before I had Horizon Canopy. I think it's it could be right for some builds, but
Okay.
I wasn't a fan of it just because I feel like in our particular meta, there's a lot of people who play a basic or two to make Ghost Quarter bad.
Right, that's true. Oh, did you pick up the new Horizon Canopies or the old ones? Yeah, they're like what, $30 right now?
Yeah, they're like $35.
So
I got it like a
good.
month or two ago.
You know what Fluster Storm's at now?
Like 30.
18.
Jeez.
Yeah, I've thought about picking up some just to sort of have them. Maybe throw together show and tell one day. I have the Ancient Tombs and the City of Traders.
I don't want to not be friends with you, but you're making it hard here. I can't
I play Dredge. I play Eldrazi.
Dredge and Eldrazi are they're attacking.
I guess
Show and Tell is just why did they print all these good cards?
Why did they print a card that said here's an Emrakul?
Why did they print cards that are 15/15s that can't be Swords to Plowshares?
Can't be
that
countered?
also that also kill all your permanents.
But get bounced by a Sting Scourger.
Hey, you're right there.
I've done it. They go Emrakul, I go Sting Scourger, bounce, and they go, huh?
I beat a hardcast Emrakul in Modern once against Just Guy Ascendancy.
They hardcast? Oh, Just Guy Ascendancy. Right,
No,
right,
Just Guy
yeah.
Ascendancy. Because I
How'd you do
in
that?
combat or something,
Yeah.
I overloaded Cyclonic Rift, so they couldn't get the mana back.
That's
and then
right. You're on Mono Blue Tron.
Then I Mindstep them before they got to go back to do their thing, or I Sundering Titan away their ways or something.
That's
something
spicy.
stupid. So
So what do we see? We see Thalia, Dark Depths. So James has plenty of land here. There's a Wasteland in hand. I see a Thalia, a Dark Depths. He's not going to take it though.
well, Dark Depths is basically a mulligan.
Yeah, it makes it a Mole 6 anyway, so might as well
Dark
go
Depths
for
is-
it.
You never want to draw that card.
Brandon has opening hand double Lily. Only one black
This is a
source.
really good hand. I think on Brandon's side.
That's very strong.
I mean, it's one black source, but you have a Brainstorm. Brainstorm's the best card ever.
And a Ponder, I believe he had as well.
What are you gonna? What are they gonna do?
No? Alright.
You just
Is there pithing needles in the sideboard for you guys or no?
what?
Do you guys run pithing needle on the side or not really? Or?
I mean, some people do. I don't know. Everyone can, right?
So some other Eastern Canonist, no land.
geez.
This happens to James a lot for some reason. He'll flood or he will not see a
I'm
damn
spelling a
thing.
five card hand, one lander, and the one land is a Dryad Arbor. I don't want to put a hex on a fellow
I
Maverick
almost want to
fan.
bet you right now. I
I
want to
want-
bet you $1 right now almost.
I want to put that stink on the man, but
Yeah, it's hard. It's a
Maverick,
hard stink.
But, this is the spot where his hand's gonna be like Dryad Arbor Thespian Stage.
Yeah.
And
PC averted.
Is that
We're
right?
safe.
Oh, thank.
There's a
thank
lot
the,
of lands in this one.
Thank the
but-
Lord, I was right. I was wrong.
Right, he's a fellow Maverick player.
would-
You don't
I
want to. I mean, he's been playing. James playing Maverick for like 4 years now or something. It's his bread and butter. He plays other decks. He has fun with it. But
I feel like I'm like horrible with the deck.
you're not
I
bad.
feel like
actually.
I feel
You're
like I
pretty
like
strong.
win games and I have no idea what went
Why-
right.
Why did they let me do this? I don't get this.
It's like what?
So Brandon's gonna brainstorm into turn here.
I just have like a poor like concept of like when Thalia is doing a thing. I guess.
I guess. I like Thalia a lot. Gaddock Teague.
Oh, that's a beaut.
He picked up 3 of them online for $70, I think. So he saw the Teague. I mean, the art is beautiful. Let's see if we can pull that up.
Yeah.
You want to type in Gaddock
Alright.
Teague for me here? Wait, no. Yeah, now do it.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm master of the.
Should show the newest art. It doesn't.
It does not.
Boo.
Instead, we get this.
It shows masterpieces, but it won't show
Nonetheless,
judge promos.
nonetheless, this is a mildly confusing card. Oh,
Yeah, nonetheless, it's very true. Yeah. Non-creature spells with mana cost 4 or greater can't be
I
played.
don't think they can actually see it because that's like what they're gonna.
Galaxy, Stargate, Sleep.
And then non-creature spells with X in their mana cost can't be played. So this helps you beat a mill. In,
Yeah,
game
no,
one.
it's like actually one of the best cards you can play against Miracles from from the Maverick side of the board.
Stops Terminus. Stops
Because it's just like
a lot of it.
if you just have like Mother Runes and Gaddock Teague, suddenly almost nothing in their deck does anything.
It's true. Now what we're going to see here from Brandon is he didn't find a third land.
I mean, it's a fetch.
He's
like,
going to fetch, try to find another land after.
He's not-
James does have a Reptilian hand, so this is helpful. He found double Esper Charm on the bottom. I'm so glad he's playing a card like Esper Charm.
Esper Charm is a powerful little weapon.
It is. I was talking to him earlier. I'm like, Brandon, we need to throw some death threats in there from flavor. Just one Bayou, doesn't matter. One Bayou. Turn 1 death threat. Turn 2. Throw 1 wasteland just to wasteland him, to him then. Then turn 3 Esper Charm,
Yeah.
and then your opponent just scoops because
Yeah.
so
Turn
much
1
fun.
Death Three.
He
Turn
did find
2
the Fluid Delta,
Wasteland
which is
him.
nice. I think you're going to
bested.
see a collective brutality.
It is bested only by. Yeah, his hand's fine. He'll do.
He drew the Polluted Delta. He's going to ponder that. So I'm okay with this, I guess. You have the Polluted Delta, no big deal. We see swords, land, swords. I keep those on top in a creature matchup.
He's got the fetch in hand.
He's
right
going to get
now.
at least 1 swords. He does have a fetch land.
He's got
So
the fetch in hand right now. I think
I'm okay with this.
I think you want to go like swords, underground swords. Which was, you know.
Draw a card. I would like to see a collective brutality here, but that's just me.
Does
He
he
might
want-
want to wait a turn. Yep, he wants to wait a turn to get the second
Yeah, I mean,
swords
there's like
out.
no rush. Like you don't want to crack your fetch because you like what's on top.
Yeah. James might try to make him here. I'm not
You
sure
know,
what's
yeah.
in his hand.
Like
I know he has Decay in hand, but that's about it.
this Gaddock Teague is really not doing a lot.
It's not doing much, right?
It is literally just a 2/2.
It's a 2/2.
But, I mean,
it's a 2/2 bear that can do
This
some
is
work.
this is the difficulty of playing hate bears. Is you don't know when what they're hating is actually being hated or
Right.
if they-
So Brandon's holding off on these Lily of the Veils, and I don't blame him. But seems like it's needed, sort of. So now he can fetch freely, knowing their top cards are all gone. He doesn't have to worry about anything. James may abrupt to get the Baleful Strix here. No? Okay. James does have Green Suns in hand. It is a very strong card. You know very well.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that a second? No.
I was like, is that an unflinching courage?
No, that is a.
I was like,
That's. Oh no. The 3-drop from.
Smiter.
Huh?
Smiter.
No. It's the 3-drop that if Revolt happened, you bring back a.
Oh, Renegade Rally.
Yeah, I picked him up the promos.
Ooh,
I
that-
won the promos for
That
him.
guy is
Spicy deck.
I play one of those. That guy's good times.
Yeah, I picked up James too for the promos. I was on a winning streak that week
When,
at Cool Stuff.
when you go like Wasteland, Renegade Rally, or go back Wasteland again, like there are a few things in
You have
Magic
fetches,
more,
so it
more
makes it
elegant,
feel so good.
beautiful.
I guess you pass here. He's probably going to swords the Deathrite. I think Deathrite's stronger than Teague at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
Swords it. Gain a life, yeah, nothing crazy. I definitely think that's the right play to do. I'm surprised to see Brandon not running any fatal pushes.
like Sword Splashers are just better than Fatal Push, right? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. In
you don't
Legacy,
care about their life total.
I
Like,
guess that's true. In Legacy, though, you're like everything's small and compact usually, except for Dark
yeah,
decks.
except for like Crystal Rand and stuff. I mean, like,
We're still friends. Remember, it's fine.
yeah,
We're still friends. I'd also rather see Fatal Push against my Reality Smasher any day. Second Level Trips. Leaving a white source up is fine. Draw a card.
Brandon's
Does
like
James
okay.
fetch end of turn here? He has a lot of land out.
Brandon is okay with like all. Well, I mean, you kind of want to save them for like Ralliers and Tireless
Yeah, I
Wreckers.
guess that's true. We are going to see a Mother of Runes.
Like, you never fetch to thin, right? Like, that's not like a... Unless there's, like, literally no cost to it at all.
Right. Well, James is on defense here, but doesn't mean he's losing. Brandon has not been playing any threats just yet. There is a Greenstone and a Replicant in hand, followed by a Renegade Rallier that can get something back with a Collective Brutality.
Having been on the James side of the matchup, I feel like James is losing.
You think concede?
I wouldn't concede, but I would
You think
feel...
it's very hard?
I would feel, like, not confident in my chances of winning this game at the moment.
Baby.
The
So
Kevin
I think we're
Toolin
going to see a
special, as
Lily
it's
here.
known.
It is a Kevin Toolin special. I believe they talked about it too. We're going to see Lily. I think Lily's going to shoot down Mom.
Oh, jeez.
And I believe we'll see an Abrupt Decay on Liliana of the Last Hope, end of turn.
That is why you don't blow your Abrupt Decays on 1/1 Baleful Strixes.
Fair.
Folks.
I respect that, yeah.
That's why you save them for horrible things that kill your deck.
Literally dot deck. That's why we run Warping Whales. Warping Whale has been more of a house than I'd ever expected in my life. Some Goblins lists run it now.
Yeah,
But they also run Pendlehaven.
Man, Pendlehaven, that's a good one.
It's a 2 of them.
I like the Pendlehaven on like Elves lists where they're just like, yeah, I'm swinging into death, right? No big deal.
Elvish Mystic, haha, crop rotation. That's a sword. That's strong.
Man, that's a fun one. Does he have the 5th land?
We are going to see a fetch. I'm not sure what we're seeing fetch for. Probably, obviously, Savannah here, but...
You might want 2nd black.
I think 2nd black, I don't know if
Scrubland.
anything... You could see Scrubland, that's true. This is just what he's going for. He has enough green sources, go for the 2nd black.
It's almost like I played this deck before. It's almost like we like have like we think of similar things because we're playing a similar deck.
Nah. I'm curious what we're going to see. I think we're going to see the sword beat. Oh, there's the Rallier, because he fetched.
Ah, I see. Oh, he might go back fetch my hand.
Read that card, buddy. You run that as a 1 in your build too, or not this build?
Yeah, I'm playing one.
Okay.
I like
Let's
that.
look it up for him so everyone can see it.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. How do you spell Renegade?
Yeah, it looks right.
Well, let's try that and see if that works. Yep, there we go. Renegade Rallier, everybody. That's a spicy card. So he got counterspelled. Yeah, he did get counterspelled. I almost wish James had not cracked a fetch, but he had to, I guess, to search up the Dryad Arbor to sack the Lily of the Veil.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I think like Brendan's being pretty patient about
He's being
like
very
casting
patient.
this stuff. He's playing this like pretty well. I think he's like using the narrowest cards for the narrowest possible
He
applications.
is, and he's doing very strong. He knows he lost
Like
game
Lily will
1.
kill anything, right? Like Lily will kill any one creature basically, right? Unless they have a bunch of active fetch and a Dryad Arbor.
Right. Now James is down to swords in hand, so Baleful Strix coming in.
The
for
Dryad
2.
Arbor would be good here.
It would be very strong here.
You know, like when your lands can wear a sword.
Yeah, right.
You know.
3-drop sword, Snapcaster, counterspell.
Yeah, now I am.
That was just rude.
Oh.
He drew the Dryad Arbor. For shame. Now, good news is off of that, any equipment he draws after this becomes super valid. The only problem we're having is James is not running Batterskull right now.
I mean, like Batterskull's like a little bit.
Jitte's not bad here. Stone.
That's sort of like an equipment. I think you get Fire and Ice.
He doesn't have it right now.
Oh, he's not playing
He has
Fire
2
Ice?
swords in the board.
Okay.
He has Sword
Light
of Body
and
and
Shadow.
Mind and Jitte in the main,
Okay.
and Fire Ice and Light and Shadow in the board.
Body and Mind is like is a weird one to main. I gotta ask him about that. Body and Mind's a weird one to main to me.
I like it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blue control in our meta right now.
Yeah.
Now, Brandon does have another swords, doesn't he?
It's just like you put a Sword of Light and Shadow on a guy, and like basically for like half the dudes you can equip it to, no removal spell and magic at that point will kill them.
Yeah.
Like, no commonly played legacy removal spell will kill them.
Right.
Attention TPS players, let us time around. Active player, push their turns. Attention TPS players, let us time around. Active player, push their
So he does plan his swords, the whatever is equipped.
Yeah.
No, whatever is equipped to Jitte.
Oh.
Not for DCW, but the way I got these, I actually stopped.
That's probably a shovel. No, that's a brainstorm mechanic. Probably put back Swamp.
Probably. I guess
Swamp Thoughtseize, maybe?
Well, the Thoughtseize isn't like useless because the Sword of Body Mind is good, right?
The sword's gone.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm an idiot. I thought he was playing it like face up because it was in his hand.
Gotcha. No, yeah.
But
Ether
instead,
Sworn Canist. Not bad. Not what you need here. Counterspell. So he does have the white
I
open
mean, if
for
you
it.
don't have an answer to the jet, you gotta answer every guy.
So good thing is James does have a dry over back to block if need be. Brandon is down to no cards in hand. This is where James could turn it around.
We have successfully ground down the Esper deck.
we said, woo!
The issue is we have ground him down to the point where he has an okay board.
Do you know what the shame is right now, though? He put Lily of the Veil back in the deck for the shuffle. Hey, you. Oh, coming in. Lots of people today. So we are going to see another swing for 4.
Oh, that's a
What do you draw?
reasonable one. The old Esper charm.
Did he?
Yeah.
Really?
Hey, you just want to draw more cards.
I
right?
draw some cards. Yeah,
Draw
that's
J,
pretty
still
good.
lose immediately.
Land J.
It's over.
So he wins.
It's over. We may continue this little song and dance, but it's all is lost.
So you bounce,
All is
try
lost.
it, and yeah.
The good guys are dead.
The good guys are dead.
The wicked devil, Jace the Mind Sculptor. Now the bane of modern.
Yeah, right? So
we got
he's
two
not
guys.
dead, technically. He can jump
Yeah,
block,
technically, that's
death
what we'll
right.
say.
Yeah, we'll say technically.
That's what we'll cling to.
Yeah, forcing Jace to bounce the Dryad. Okay. Now if he draws a kill spell, then he's just in trouble. Jace can brainstorm. Double land in Brandon's hand, one being the creeping tar pit. I think, or is it double polluted? It's hard to tell sometimes. He flicks cards. I believe it's creeping tar pit.
Players pairing for your third round have been posted.
Dies to Jitte.
Attention Dragon Ball Super players, pairings for your third round have been posted.
You want to face the on? That's land on top.
That's not the word. That's
Little do
fine.
people not know, James runs 2 Dryad Arbors. I'm not joking.
Really?
Yeah, I'm being serious. 100% being serious.
Whoa. That's
I know we talked about it, how it's not good. He does it, though.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he does it with the Dark Depths combo in.
Man, he's like really lucky that if he mulled the 5, he didn't draw a hand of double Dryad Armor.
Yeah. He does
That
that
is
sometimes.
huh.
People don't realize it, though. It's pretty funny. It's like, just damage. Yeah, Jitte was worded really, really well for when it was. And I got James a lot of foils for that deck. I got him a foil Dryad Arbor. I got him the Renegade Ralliers. I don't even play local. I can't see that. Why is our chat so...
This is probably.
Yo, nerds.
Yeah, he doesn't even.
How was turnout? It was a
9
low
people.
turnout for Kendall. It was a
9
nine-man top 4.
But I mean, there's like PPG's running like a modern win a million fetches thing.
Yeah,
or something,
PPG's playing
so
a big win event.
I think like a decent
There's a
amount
big
of
standard event going behind us. A bunch of other games going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a decent amount of like the young Miami guys
Equip
that
the
are probably just doing
Deathrite
that.
Shaman. Oh, baby.
Hey, in addition to all the other things Deathrite Shaman does, he also you can just put a Jit on him because he needed more.
Now he's the best Planeswalker for 1 drop. The issue is Brandon is going to probably minus down to Deathrite.
Yeah, when there's only one thing on board with the Jit, you can sort of be a little bit more aggressive with it.
I'm curious what he can draw off the top is the odd part. And James will probably eat his own Dryad Arbor out of the grave, gain some life.
He played the Creeping Carpet last turn, right? Yeah, if you bounce the guy...
That's true. There are no winners in Modern sometimes. Very true. I play it for fun. And I do enjoy it. What do you do?
He bounced Deathrite.
I think he's going to eat something to gain some life.
Yeah, he's probably going to go gain some life. Try to prolong this game a little bit longer.
3 Strix, gain 2 life. Probably shoot down the Deathrite and Baleful with the Jitte.
So some people, when Jace comes down, just like give up.
I do sometimes.
I usually give up. I'm gonna be honest.
We saw it happen on stream.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is, I have like nothing irrelevant in hand. This is over. But
Because Jitte is good. It doesn't have to have a creature equipped to do its abilities.
Yeah, I mean, you can animate the tar pit.
Oh, I'm shooting the tar pit if he does that.
Oh yeah.
Cash
Man,
grab.
cash grab BS format. Do you mean the game Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, right. Brandon.
Do you mean this wonderful hobby of ours?
Brandon, we've talked about this, buddy.
I think this is
you
fine.
should. I think you should snap and tar.
Yeah, I mean you stop as much damage as you can.
What?
You should double.
It's a 3-1. Why is James doing? Oh, he gained some life, I guess.
I guess. Difficult to say. Difficult to say. Yeah, I mean it's sometimes the out with Jace is that you hope your opponent just like brainstorms badly.
Yeah, right.
You know, like
Which he has been actually. What's the CA? What's the CA?
card
engine?
advantage.
Card advantage. Got it.
I know.
I'm not good with these little terminologies. I just kind of swing sideways and have some fun. Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
actually pretty good.
Like my opinion on Jace
That's
is
actually really good.
oh. Ugh.
So
Oh man,
I don't think James is coming back from this. But
don't.
good God.
No, I think he's actually just.
He's clawing his way out from the hole.
Like if he's not dead right now, I think he'll win. That has protection from blue.
Wait, type the card in. I'm thinking of something. Wait. Delete. Go back one. Delete. Do it again. Not X.
I'm like an excellent
I do play
typist.
Magic, just not a
I'm
lot
an
of
excellent
it.
typist.
Flash. Protecting from blue.
Script Ranger is. I died.
What do you do?
I vindicated it.
Oh my God, vindicated.
Man.
Good. We thought James was coming back.
I mean, like I'll root against my own mother could play Jace the Mind Sculptor, and I root against my own mother. But I mean, it hurts to see a good card like Script Ranger killed in
You
action.
don't see Script
you know?
Ranger very often. It's a one of, right?
Never.
It has
But I mean,
flash.
yeah.
I would have flashed. No, you want the Jitte counters.
Yeah.
That's a lot of bulk.
Yeah. No, he's like probably still going to lose, but like he's not going to like lose as quickly.
All right,
You know,
you
like
keep going. You keep pulling hard.
you can swim against the tide. You know, sometimes there's
Yeah.
honor in drowning. You know, after
There's
like
honor.
there's honor in drowning after 10 minutes of struggling desperately. You know, rather than just
You're like,
letting,
you know what, I tried.
letting
I'm
the
done.
ocean swallow you.
Let it accept you and go from there.
No.
Oh, that's funny.
Like the best games are like with Script Ranger are the ones where you're like missing land drops and like Script Ranger is literally saving your life. You have like a Death Ray or like a Noble Hierarch and Script Ranger is just like, okay, I'll just make 2 mana every single turn.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Oh, that's so good. Script Ranger is such a strong card. I wish it
I
said it
could
bounce
never
an
cut that
opponent's
card.
life. No, I think it always has to be a one of, right?
Like it looks so dumb at first. You don't like you see it and you're like, this is cute, but like it
Is
it
this
just
really that
slices and
good?
dices, you know, like does
Right.
everything.
So Brandon didn't bring in the instant. I mean, Ensnaring Bridge does hurt him a lot too.
So yeah, I mean,
He's thinking about it. Looks like they might. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't bring in the Containment Priest either.
I guess the logic behind not bringing a priest is that like all it does is stop green suns, but I don't know. It's still like it's trades with
You're a
2/2s.
green sun
It
duck.
trades with 2/2s, you know.
Yeah. Does Containment Priest stop Dryad Arbor from entering?
Yes, that too.
Like if you just okay. So if you Knight for it is what I was saying rather, yeah. You think you lost against James like that? Yeah.
I think if you want a jersey, you just like ask Christian.
Yo, where can I
Or I
join
don't-
the club? Because so right now we are at the limit for Mirrodin Tech jerseys right now. Hey man, have
he doesn't
fun.
play locally.
You don't play
Man,
locally.
What
You
a
know-
monster.
Hey man, thank you for joining the stream. I really do appreciate
Yeah.
it. Oh my god.
Oh man, Lantern. Legacy Lantern is
No,
like
Legacy Lantern. He's talking about modern for some
That's-
sweet modern.
Weevil Days Undoing. Man, that
Sir?
cube deck sounds awesome.
You know what?
Like-
If you could send us a link to a list of that, I would love to see it.
Because I mean, who's gonna like first pick the cube, like the Days Undoing and
Right.
Undoing
Hey
the
man,
cube?
I play goblins in modern. I'll play your Lantern Control any day. It'll be entertaining for at least, to say the least, for that. Man, Leovold Days Undoing. I wanna.
That is an excellent
I don't
cube
think we're
deck.
connected. We are connected to Wi-Fi. I really want to look that up a little bit.
Days Undoing is just like it's
So good.
it's yeah. I mean, the best part about drafting that cube. Oh yeah, no, I'm kind of just like not respecting that it's a legacy deck and joking about it like
Oh, I
kind
found
of kind of relentlessly.
Why is you know what? There isn't a limit. Legacy is the format almost as much as Commander, where dinosaurs with laser beams happen. Nice. God, that is ridiculous. Legacy level Days Undoing. I found James's next deck.
Man,
He'll do it. He probably has.
that's
has
like
his
the
Days
only
Undoing
thing
for
like
now.
Weevil should be used for, in my opinion.
Days Undoing?
That or like in Maverick. That just sounds
Just
that just makes me sound
unbanned
like
Wheel of
a
Fortune. It'll be fine.
sounds needlessly partisan to say that Leovold should only be played in Maverick. But
What about Nick Fit? A blue Nick Fit
if
list?
you're in Blue Neck Fit, go for it. Like why not? I mean, like Leovold, like what is the bad things that can happen when you play Leovold?
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. I like your Scape.
Yeah, no, I played against Legacy Lantern. That's like it's like a better lock, even.
Right? Yeah,
Because you have like a way to like actually just like kill people.
Right,
I've
lost to it quite a few times actually. It's a.
I was playing like Pernicious Deed against it though, so it was just like if you drew a Pernicious Deed, I had like Green Sun Zenith and Abrupt Decay.
So
and like
there's a Thespian's Agent on. Are we gonna see the? Are we gonna see the Knight into Dark Depths like we did last round?
I mean, it's never like your primary plan.
No, it's just a plan though.
It's just like if they like, if you can catch them with their pants down, you do it.
Yeah, and Brandon is gonna mull.
Yeah.
I was really
like Pernicious Deed like single-handedly just like crushes like so many different horrible things that could happen to people.
God, imagine a Nick Fit if you're wearing what's the card? The one that does -2/-2 to the field.
There's like a million cards like that. Which one?
Oh fuck. Brandon. Chavez. What's up, man? Big worm that does -2/-2 to the
Oh,
opponent's
Massacre
field.
Worm.
Massacre. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about like are we talking about like Flaying Tendrils or like Drown in Sorrow
No.
or Infest?
Huh? You should be.
No, like. Oh yeah, no, you're like the guy I had like the single best turn of Magic I'll ever have against.
Me?
Yeah, like it was
What'd
like
you
you were
do?
playing like Eldrazi and I was playing
Yeah.
Sneak Attack Nick Fit.
That's right.
And I had like a board of like a million dudes. You had a board of like a million dudes.
God, we were just stalemated forever.
And you had to swing because
I had to. There was no. I was losing next turn.
And I was like, okay, sneak attack in like Woodland Bellower.
Oh my! It was like Woodland
Get
Bellower.
back Eternal Witness from my deck. Eternal Witness back like Massacre Worm. Sneak attack in Massacre Worm.
Oh my God! He had so
kill
much
half
mana.
your field.
Oh my God!
Block the rest of your field. Make you lose like 14, and then just easily kill you on the crackback from like
What's
20.
Atali? Real quick, look up Atali for me.
Oh, Atali is. I like Atali more in like blue sneak attack lists because you can get away with. I think it's like 2 L's.
Do it again.
All right. No, I am.
How do you spell Atali? A-T. Oh, it's E-T-A. Yeah. Here.
I think it's like double T. I am a master typist. Oh, it might just be because they don't like update this quickly. This thing.
She's the newest thing. That's right.
That's like the newest thing. It's like when you attack, you like exile the top card of each
I will
player's
look for it
deck.
for everybody because I got the app.
You can exile the top card of each player's deck, and you can cast whatever spell you exile from it for free.
Oh, is this the
Yeah, the red dinosaur.
Yeah. We'll post it on camera real quick for a second here. That's not going to work. Tax, exile top card of each player's library. You may cast any number of non-land cards.
Anyway,
like this.
so here's the game.
Yeah,
it's
sorry
it's a
about
Mother
that.
of Runes.
We're off the
It's a Mother of
spice.
Runes off a Scrubland.
Brandon did go turn 1 Ponder, so we do not see a hand hate card. What is that? That's the thing. That's the Ramanap.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he posted us a link. You're the best. We will get to that right between rounds. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, the
Oh,
great.
that is the best. I haven't opened. I'm gonna open that up. I want to open that up. How do I open that up? I gotta go to the chat. I gotta go to the chat.
So I guess like one of the appeals of Sword of Body of Mind is that it gives you a body.
Yeah, Sword of Body Mind gets you a 2/2. Mills 10 cards.
I mean, like I'm not gonna like respect the mill plan. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like just never gonna respect
For sure,
the mill
man.
plan.
For sure. I mean,
There will be some non-zero amount of games where milling them will happen.
I've thought about playing the mill strategy. I want to try it out in Legacy with Glimpse of Nature and Glimpse of Unthinkable and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a nice person. So
The thing about mill is like you can actually like steal a game from like basically everybody, right? But like,
So Brandon's gonna
and that'll like
brainstorm.
sweat. That'll make them sweat.
So this is bad. Brandon has a
and-
second land in hand
And turn brainstorm.
and a turn brainstorm. So the thing here for Brandon is he has a single island. He's now locked for at least 2 turns of not finding more land.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
That's not easy here, especially when Mother of Runes Stoneforge are happening. The good thing is he does have.
Well,
an
he has
8E.
3 lands. No, he can. He'll
has
next turn.
3?
Yeah, he has 3 lands. He has Caracas.
Okay.
So he'll like snap.
He's still
Ponder or
stuck for a little
something.
bit.
I mean, like, it's not ideal, but like I mean, he's probably just trying to use all of his mana every turn. It's
Yeah.
not like the. Oh, okay. This is a main phase one.
Yeah, it's the main finish first one. Do you EE for 1 here? No.
That's a good question.
I think with Death Rights and everything else, that it's not a bad play.
I mean, you need answers to Mom, right? You need
Yeah.
to like kill the Mom eventually.
Mother of Runes
but
is
I don't know.
very
He
strong
probably
card.
just wants to like. The issue is, I think was his first fight a Tundra.
I believe it is, yes. Now, if he gets Wastelanded off of that somehow, because we will see Night this coming turn from James, I think.
Assuming no Wastelands and assuming he draws a 4th land, he is on like pace to Supreme Verdict, but.
So I think James wants to wait it out for a little bit.
I might be tempted to do the.
I'd do the Wasteland plan. I think that's just me though.
Because it's like such a low. Like,
So I think he's gonna EE for 1. Yeah, it's for 1. It's good. It's good value here for 1. Are you popping the sword?
Yeah, I mean, the ugly thing here is he's gonna get like the sword in play. Yeah, that's the Horizon Canopy
EE for 1,
Expedition. Oh man, I wasn't using those dies like any of the times.
You should have. Yeah,
I
they're
was
just all
on,
right
I was
there.
on like stream. I bring my Altoids box, you know.
That's true. Yeah, the little boxy stuff. I would equip attack first. I think.
Yeah, sort of body mind triggers aren't the worst thing in the world.
No.
Man, I am like
Swing for 3, get a 2/2 wolf, mill 10 cards.
Man, let's see. Okay,
Gideon,
milled a good
Fetchland,
one.
Swamp, Jace,
Milled another good one.
Swords, Baleful.
This is like such a like.
Ponder, Jace,
It is-
Ensnaring Bridge, Land.
It is. It is.
That was good.
It is among the scrubbiest things one can do to like check the cards you have milled and like and
have to,
celebrate
you
it.
have
But
to.
you do. You
do it
Everyone does it.
It's that little feeling of
I imagine the
yeah.
greatest players in the world, even when they mill their opponent randomly off like a Thought Scour or something,
No.
they celebrate even that.
Oh yeah. Does Brandon get another land?
Yep.
He does. So that's just how he does.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Now, do you wait here? Is the question. I don't think you wait.
I don't. Yeah, I mean he's staring down. He's staring down 5 damage.
James does have a knight in hand for the Thespian stage too.
Yeah, but I mean like.
It's not what you want,
You're
obviously.
staring down 5 damage. More importantly, 10 more cards milled potentially.
Right. Exactly. You're
You
right.
can't afford that. Like
That's hard.
I would never, hazard that. That's a.
With another 2/2 wolf. He's thinking about tapping out is the hard part. The hard part here is tapping out. He might snap swords.
Yeah, that's probably safer.
Probably much safer.
Yeah, you just like. Yeah, and it trades evenly with everything here.
It does,
I think that's
yeah.
fine.
I think that's very reasonable.
You just chill. He's actually doing okay.
Yeah, he's in a
It
very
looks
fun
scarier
fight. He's
than
going
it
to pass.
was.
He wants to hold up the counterspell if he can. And James is doing really well of not overextending too much.
I mean, you don't have. That is the benefit of sort of body mind. You don't have to extend very much.
Do you want to attack with a 2/2 wolf also, or no?
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess.
Or just the stone. Would you want to have a body back?
So I guess the logic of not attacking with the 2/2 wolf is that if he reads out.
Well, he's attacking with the wolf tail. So we'll see Snapcaster Swords. Does make Snapcaster a little bit better in this matchup. He's Brandon is playing Esper Control today.
Good old Esper Control, just
Um,
some Lingering Souls, some Baleful Strixes,
Some Lingering Souls,
some
Baleful
Jaces,
Strix, some good stuff.
some
I actually
Lilies.
really do enjoy the list. It's a little outdated. Does get hurt by Chalice on 1. He's a little angry at me for that. But we are still friends. James will get swords there, no straight off. So
I mean, like,
the fact that happens.
you're supposed to attack with the wolf, I think. Like,
Now, do
almost
you-
every time.
Now that he's almost tapped out, Caracas can bounce his T, which is really funny. Do you go for the knight play here?
No, you don't. There's like, I mean, you just play like a knight because it's like Knight of the Reliquary, and it's like the best card in your deck, right? Like,
I mean, I think you have to, right?
Yeah,
So he's
like-
gonna fetch here. I'm not sure
you
what
just
he's
like play
doing.
your Knight of the Reliquary because it's like it's your best card.
Right.
But you have no like illusions about this whole like.
4 mana.
Okay,
And
no,
he's
he's-
so he's
okay.
gonna search for knight, keep backup. That makes sense, I think.
Or Renegade or Hoyer.
Or Rallier, get back. Oh, I hope
Like
so.
a mom or something.
Rallier, get back, mom, play
I
mom.
could see that.
I like that a lot.
Or just Knight,
He's looking at it, but they look very similar to the promos. See?
Yeah.
So get back, mom, play mom.
Yeah, I mean this is a good play.
I like that a lot. Does
He's got-
Rallier say to field or to hand?
To field, my dude.
I won them. I just handed them to him. So that's pretty good. So this will probably force a Supreme Verdict off Brandon.
But that's fine.
I think this forces it off of him.
So this is
drew a
where Bridge
bridge.
doesn't look good.
Right.
Bridge crushed me on Friday. I played against him on Friday. And
Did it really?
And Bridge beat me pretty good. But
Yeah.
now we're in a scenario where he's on his back foot a little. He's not just emptying his hand perfectly.
Right. He has 5 cards in hand. Not a lot of. He has 4.
But
now.
I guess you can run a high risk, high reward card like this in a brainstorm deck just because brainstorm is like a messed up card.
Right,
You can do
absolutely.
whatever you want with anything.
He did it
for
to
any
me
reason
and it was,
whatsoever.
I only beat him in the game because he drew Supreme Verdict. He snaring bridged me. I have a bunch. I swung him down to 2. I wastelanded his Tundra and he drew Supreme Verdict. Oof. I got lucky. I was not playing around the snaring bridge at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a good sideboard card.
So he's playing bridge in the deck.
So there's a lot of Reanimator here.
There
we play
is.
At Cool Stuff, there were literal 3 Sneak and Show decks in a tournament of 9. Like, it's certainly not like a good card in general in blue control decks, right? Like that's like a bad. It's like a bad
thing is
thing
James
there.
does run Quasali Pride Mage. Whether he sided it out, I don't know.
It beat me on Friday, and I was playing Maverick. So I mean, it's a.
No, I would equip. I think I would equip the mom up here. Swing, get the extra power, and mill the top 10 cards.
Well,
get
so
the bodies.
he has 4 cards in hand. Okay. Yeah.
Oh boy, James. Fetch land, yeah, that's pretty good.
This is. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of like.
I can respect that. That's fine. I'd still probably equip, to be honest. Or is he gonna just find a knight?
I mean, if he can equip an attack, which is.
That's my goal. I think milling out 10 more cards. It does give Brandon the opportunity of lingering souls. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen that yet.
Man.
I'm a little vigilant. I learned some things. Not much. But
I
some
didn't even
things.
think about that. We haven't seen that all match.
We haven't. I did.
There's a chance James
I only
doesn't
saw
even
him play against Burn once, but that was it. Is it only like a 2-of, or what is it? Do we know?
I saw like a bunch. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you can get an attack for 6 in here.
It's just, I think that's fair. That's fair. You don't want to attack with the Rallier too, James? There's a Souls. 4. There's a Lily. 5, 6. That's 6 or 7. 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 10. He did get a Deluge out of the way. He did get a Lingering Souls, which is a little hard.
Milling Basics also feels pretty good. Right?
It does. Milling Basics does feel really good here.
It's high level analysis.
Yeah.
Man, imagine if somebody played a Sword of Body Mind against you, and then you played a Raymond F Excavator.
Oh, baby.
And just got to crucible them.
Right.
They're just giving you
So
the
Brandon
fuel.
still has to get below 3 cards to stop getting milled here. Unless he Lingering Souls. Souls are white.
I mean, he also has.
He has a
Verdict.
Mother of Runes up.
He also has Supreme Verdict, and this is probably just a fine spot to do it because, like, the Raymond X is drawing an extra card every turn. So.
I thought he had that. I thought he used that. So my bad.
No.
This is hard. This immediately just got much worse for James.
He still has a really good hand, I think, though.
Yeah, there's a Dryad Arbor. Another Mother of Runes to equip up, probably.
Plus, we've milled so much.
Yeah, right? He's lost double Jace. He's lost a Bridge, a Gideon. Creeping Tar Pit is one of the win costs, and Explosives is gone.
He still hasn't fired off a Snapcaster. He still has a Snapcaster in his hand. Right?
No, but he has to get to 6 mana to Snapcaster Supreme again.
Yeah, it'll happen. Yes. I might just give up on this bridge plan, to be honest. But I don't know.
It's hard.
I don't know. He might. This is. I think. If he goes up to. If he finds the 6th land, he can go Snap Plow. I don't know. I was gonna say Snap Plow and then crack Esper Charm his hand away. But
The Elvish Strix, that's a good draw.
It's fine, but it doesn't do anything against the sword.
Right. It also does a redraw, which is the hard part. Can you forget to redraw?
You might want to redraw just to see, like, just to get,
So you bring it in here because Maverick is a Maverick. It's Knight. Knight gets huge. Brandon does plan to empty his hand out after he gets Jace out. Now Jace, we have had 2 Jaces milled. I don't know the full number of Jaces in the list.
Yeah, I mean, the bridge is a little inconsistent in these sorts of matchups. I'm not sure I agree with it either. I talked about it with him on Friday when we played this matchup. But
okay.
It beat me, so I mean, there's like evidence for it.
There is evidence absolutely for it.
But I mean, we can also concoct scenarios like this game where it's not doing very much at all.
Right, and now James has milled 20 cards. This will be 30. Is there a risk of Brandon decking out?
Is there a risk of Brandon decking out? Man, these are the questions I love.
Hey man, this is who we are as players. We gotta think of the fun stuff.
Probably. Yeah. It's like
Pride Mage. It is a green deck. It is Pride Mage in the deck. He is a Green Sun deck as well.
yeah, and I mean you don't want to like sit there and like.
And this is where Esper Charm is bad. James doesn't have enough cards to really pitch out. And if Brandon draws, it just turns the play off. So he is keeping counter magic up. Draw a card off Baleful. We see Ponder. Still replaces itself. Good thing about blue cards, they replace themselves. Bad card, there's an Ensnaring Bridge out.
Yeah, that's not exactly what you want to be doing.
It's a deck of consistency. It's supposed to have recursion, keep a hand full. Now against me, he did have to do a spell, force a will his own spell to get empty-handed.
I mean, Ensnaring Bridge, even when it's not doing very much, at least like it should stop most of the Night of the Relic parties, right?
Absolutely, that's what it tries to do.
I'm just gonna defend
Brandon's
it as
very
best as I
angry right
can.
now. Ponder.
It's possible and probable that maybe it's wrong. But
There's a swords. That's actually what Brandon wants. But he has an active mom now, doesn't he?
that mom was just played, I believe.
I don't know.
I believe the mom was just played because
No, he could equip the mom with the sword still don't go.
Oh.
Did we hear that right? I saw that right.
Yeah, he pointed at the Dryad Arbor. I'm thinking that's a Dryad Arbor.
So Brandon didn't fire off the sword. That's a little worrying for me.
Oh.
He did draw Green Sun too for the Pride Mage. And if Brandon taps the Caracas.
That's
should have done it last turn when he had the time.
Bad news.
We'll have to talk about that misplay later.
I mean, there's not a lot to talk about. He knows it's wrong.
Swing for 3, mill 10, 1. Lingering, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that 9 or 10? 2.
I'm going to assume it's 10. I'm just going to...
He's going to start counting his deck here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cards left in deck.
I counted 11, but
11,
I don't know. I
I'm not
also
as good as you
I
are.
don't trust myself on that either.
He was going fast. Are we going to see a Green Sun for a Kozali here? He's tapped down minus Caracas.
You can do it. I mean, it's fine.
I want to see it. Green Sun for 2, find the Kozali, yeah. Now, if Brandon finds one more land, he can snap Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, I mean, through it all here, there is a chance. The issue of Brandon is going to be finding a way to win, even if he stops himself from losing.
His play to win is Lingering Souls. There's 2 in the graveyard.
Yeah. It's interesting because if James had seen Lingering Souls,
he found Teague.
Teague. Ooh, that's.
I like Teague here a lot.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I wasn't thinking of Teague for the 2-of.
I guess the risky part about Teague is like if he gets below, if he can empty his hand.
Right, the thing is, I don't think he can empty his hand any farther. It's a problem. There are 2 Dryad Arbors out, which is funny.
No, Esper Charm says target player.
Oh boy. You can make him know.
That's what I'm rooting for. I mean, like, talking about cool ways to win a game. It's like,
yeah, this is actually a really strong game 3 from James. I'm not gonna lie.
This is an interesting one. We got how much time do we have in round?
Dragon Ball Standard. I don't know. They didn't reset it. Let me go ask.
No one else has finished their match, so I think we're still good. You know, we could probably like calculate this with the stream. Oh, the time. Okay. So some Baleful Strixen. Yeah, I was playing against Ensnaring Bridge on Friday, and the way I was beating it for a while is I had like a Noble Hierarch out, and I was just like, yeah, this is like modern now. Just hitting you with a Noble Hierarch that's pumping itself.
So we are really low on time. We are at 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, like the worst case scenario is we could like go back through the stream and like calculate.
Oh no, we did it. We checked the time up there. Brandon has 3 cards in hand still.
Yeah.
Souls are still white. I think James might pop the Horizon end of turn to try to get through here. James, pop the Horizon Canopy. God damn it, James.
No, I mean like you don't necessarily want to like lose your mana, right? Like
Yeah, I guess that's true.
there's merit to being
Mom
patient
gives
about it.
Dried
You know,
Arbor
being able
Pro
to like
white.
because
Is he gonna mill him out? Is he gonna Esper Charm himself?
I mean, you know, every part of the buffalo, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You know what's funny? If they draw, it makes me really bad.
Actually helps you probably.
Does it really?
Yeah, I mean it means you. Well, I mean you probably rather wouldn't play me then.
I'd much rather play you.
Yeah, but I think it would help you. It would get you out of the 4 seed if there was an unintentional draw.
Yeah, I think it would. But I don't think Brandon.
But one of these guys would get bodied, I think.
Right. I think Brandon's out of fetchable sources is the problem.
Yeah, that's the real hoot about getting milled. Is you gotta keep track of all this jazz.
Yeah.
So. He can still go like end of turn Caracas the Teague, Supreme Verdict.
Yeah.
Snap Supreme Verdict.
This is close. Yeah, the timer for Setsu.
The issue is I just don't think Brandon can win the game with the resources he has. Like,
What's left in his deck? Absolutely.
I don't think there's like a way for him to do
Yes,
it.
he's gonna snap swords in response to the mom. So James can still attack.
Yeah, I probably don't either, to be honest. I'd rather just have like quality interactive cards that do stuff at like all stages of the game.
Yes, that's true.
But I mean, this card is like a hurdle.
Right. Now, what is there's a 2/2 under the Gaddock. Do you just start attacking in now because he's so low? He's gonna equip up the other Dried Arbor.
Yeah, he probably just keeps throwing equipment on stuff and just making them.
Maybe swing. So I'd say swing the team out, huh?
You don't want the Teague to die, but I mean like.
Maybe the 2/2 and the Dried Arbor. Well, the Dried Arbor can't attack now. But
No, that Dried Arbor's been on play for a while.
no.
Oh no, you guys aren't actually in time.
There's no time just yet. We have a minute 50 left. It's not added. It's not added. There was no reset on the timer. We got. Now we're on time. No, you have a minute 50. Yes.
I dropped my phone.
You're all good. Well, I'll get my timer out to be sure on it.
Oh, did he not end the turn for Caracas the Teague? See, Magic's, I don't know, this is like a complex game.
So James, if he finds Green Sun, he Quizales, pops the bridge, and then he just kind of wins.
Yeah. I mean, I think.
Brendan has 3 guards in it, so he has to keep doing something.
Once a Collective Brutality, that helps. Right? Brutality or a Lily?
No, it was Collective Brutality.
Uh-oh. Is he thinking about...
Block the Snapcaster, yeah.
I don't know. Is he Oh, does he have a Deluge?
No, there's no days.
No, there's a Deluge in his graveyard.
Oh, Deluge, right. So Snap Deluge?
But how big is the Knight?
Oh, geez, how big is Knight? Probably big. So we're on the final minute of this round now. Flashing back souls. Brandon might deck himself. I don't know. It's close. What's he doing here? You gonna Esper Charm James? He's gonna Collective Brutality, probably zap.
He could discard a bunch of stuff to turn the bridge on.
He's pitching the card, so he's probably sapping and taking something out of hand.
Oh, the Teague. No, you probably killed the Teague.
Probably the Teague for
Probably
sure.
killed the Teague during 2 game 2. Because, I mean, you figure if, like...
You have 1 card in hand. If I have power equal to the number of cards in hand, or less, I can swing up.
All right, time is up. All right. So, whose turn is it?
Brandon's, I think.
Brandon, it's your turn?
Yeah, he's casting Effective Brutality. It's his turn. There's no question.
He's turn 0, your turn 1. So he drained him and killed the Teague, or what did he do? Oh, and chose to look.
Yeah. I would have killed it too, but I don't know. I think he might just be playing for a draw and hoping for those breakers to hold up.
It isn't out. Did James draw Deathrite?
Yeah, it's another issue with Ensnaring Bridge against Deathrite Shaman.
Deathrite Shaman.
But I mean, there's not enough
James's
turns
turn
for it.
1 is the problem with this.
There's not enough turns for this to like actually kill
Play a
him.
Knight. Knight can start cycling through the deck though, getting some utility lands out. Cracking for Horizon Canopy, getting deeper, finding the Quasali.
Yeah,
Brandon is turn 2.
It's the Canopy right now. Turn 2. Turn.
What's left in Brandon's deck? I wonder how many cards are left in his deck.
Under 10, I think.
Attention Dragon Ball Super players, prepare for your 4th round have been posted.
I don't think Brent's gonna be able to do it because he just doesn't have the. He just doesn't have the power on board.
Right. This is James' turn 3. He's turn 4. He'd be just shy. Now it also depends what James finds right here. If James actually gets a Quasali Pride Mage,
Yeah, that's just like ends the
it's
game.
over.
That
If he
ends the
finds a
game
Green
immediately.
Sun or that, he's just over with. He's gonna eat something. What's he doing here? Oh, it's Swords. I think he's gonna find untapped land, find a fetch land, untap land, or just find a land. And
He
then
already found
crack
the fetch
Horizon.
land. He's gonna crack Horizon.
Oh, he's gonna crack Horizon, I think, to draw a card end of turn.
That's
I
right.
respect that.
Oh, yeah.
I can't. He has way more than enough mana, and the canopies is definitely a good thing to crack end of turn. Get a draw in. There's still 4 Green Suns in his deck.
Yeah. Cam, do you win?
You can win.
No.
No. So a mill's in the top.
Yeah.
Which means we're
So
definitely
probably playing.
not drawing.
We're probably playing.
This is close.
But it's like really generous. Like how the-
So James starts turn 3 here with absurdly large knights. His out are any of the Green Suns in his deck, or literal draw off
So it's
Quasali.
turn 3 here.
It is turn 3. Yes, this is. Oof. Hit your Green Sun.
Okay, I'm gonna draw it.
I think that's the win, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing left held back for it. Really? So he sided out?
It's a possibility, but I the first time you board out a Pride Mage and you actually their sideboard cards beats you that you could have Pride
You'll
Maged,
never do it again.
You're just like, okay, well, we're keeping this card in because the worst comes to worst, this thing attacks for 3.
Brandon's down to like 2 cards in deck. Where's James waiting until the absolute last moment?
I mean, like if he had it, he had to fetch it because now if Brandon's smart, he just won't even swing.
James isn't dead yet. This is weird. I don't know why he didn't do it last turn. He was tapped out with no cards in hand.
Probably the logic is he just doesn't
He
have
sided
it.
it out, right? And Esper, he's gonna vindicate the sword.
Okay.
That's reasonable. No attack here. That's really weird, though.
If there's the no attack here is
So
the only one.
does he knight
This
end
is
of-
this is turn 4. There's no reason for him to attack. He can't
Yeah.
get lethal in. All it does is open him up to
Scrib
losing.
Ranger. Scrivener gives untapped target creature. Okay, it's not what I wanted to see. He's gonna double knight, thin his deck a little harder. What do you think your deck for here?
I mean, like, I don't think he has like an out. Is the thing? He has like Zealous Persecution in his deck. I don't think he can win.
Super players, welcome to your 4th round. You have 30 minutes on the clock. You may begin.
It did, but I mean, but you know what you know all my Jays. Literally no ball. Other than
So with this being a draw, I don't know if I can make it in. We're gonna find out.
No, I think you're fine because you got paired against the 1 seed.
So I guess that makes me a higher seed.
Yeah, it's good for you if anything,
Okay, we'll see.
because it means these guys have worse seeding or have worse pairings.
So one of them won't make it.
Yeah, one of them won't make it if this is a draw.
Because a mill beat Camden, right?
Yeah.
He's untapping Knight to with Scrib Ranger. That's funny.
Yeah. All sorts of fun tricks we can do. Yeah. Gonna find a way to generate. Oh,
He has the Thespian Sage for it.
yeah, the issue is he doesn't have any way to like give it evasion.
Everything flies. And he has nothing that says protection.
But does he have the right of consumption in his deck or whatever the black fling that's a sorcery? Because that's the real way you get him here.
He bounces it, yeah.
Yeah.
Frog Crocus was up.
Yeah. Darn. Should have.
Is there a way to give things trample here?
Garrett Relentless Ultimate.
Oh baby.
Oh baby. Yeah.
It's a crapshoot on that one. Everyone, thank you. We'll be right back with probably top 4. All right, guys. We are here. We did our top 4 has been decided. It is Eldrazi, Eldrazi, Just Got Control, Maverick, and Maverick. 2 Maverick decks made it to the top today. It has been decided we will chop. They're going to decide if the games are played out on stream or not. And we will we'll go from there. We have Doc coming out to help us out real quick, see what the plan is for now.
We're gonna also bring on Gabby here because this was her first legacy tournament.
Sure. She did well. She did play Burn. Had a little learning curve, that's all.
And do a little interview with her about her first tournament.
I like her already. This is great. Please bring her more. Oh, that's funny.
Have a seat, sis.
Do I really have to do this? I don't think she wants to.
She wants to do it. She wants to. Here's some FaceTime. The camera loves you. Go for it.
But the camera loves her. The nerdy men love her. Got it. How did you feel actually? Because you play Werewolves in Modern. How did you feel about playing Burn?
I hated it at first because I kept losing, but
Okay.
then it grew on me.
It grew on you a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, if we could make a Werewolf Legacy deck.
Yes.
Yes,
Do that.
yes. It's not easy. There aren't many good ones. Well, not Legacy standard good. So we have to figure that out. How is it compared to Modern? Like, how do you feel it is compared to Modern for you? Is it faster,
More
slower?
powerful.
Powerful?
Yeah.
That's respectable. I can see that. And you did give her Burn with the full list. We do have to work on a sideboard.
Yeah, but the list is fine for the main deck. It didn't have a good sideboard.
Right. Didn't have the Bridges, didn't have the Blood Moons for you, which probably would have got you some wins against Camden. And yeah, that's all.
I actually forgot what Past Progress does against Camden.
Did you?
The one that deals 2 damage for every non-basic
Yeah.
land.
I didn't know how to use that.
Read the card.
Huh?
I didn't know how to use that.
You're learning.
Yeah.
It's all a process. You've been playing Magic, what, a month now?
Why don't you look it up here so everybody can see?
Sure, man.
See, our system allows you to look up any card. If you ever have any doubt, we're here to help you. Double click it and watch us. That's the card that could have netted you some results, I think, today.
Yep.
But it's okay. You're new to the format. You've been playing Magic for how long, Gabby?
A month.
You jumped into Legacy in a month? It took me at
And
least
I won
4.
2 games.
You did win 2 games. That's
Or
pretty
3,
good.
but only 2 counted.
You won 2 games in your first ever Legacy tournament after a month of playing. I think that's something to celebrate.
Better than
3.
me.
Sorry, 3.
Oh, so you're buying for her? So you're buying for her?
I already bought her entry fees, but I'll buy her dinner too. I have to keep her happy. I'm marrying her sister.
It's true. Or else the sabotage may happen. Well, that's good.
Excuse me?
Or else the sabotage.
What? I wasn't listening.
Okay, making sure. I thought you were like, yes, it will. I'm like, wait, what?
I'm just
Fair.
nodding along.
Well, when everyone here at Mirrodin Tech, we thank you all for watching. We had a good little stream. And no, we're not playing up for camera. That's a shame. And we'll see you guys 2 weeks.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
James, are you playing Conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you